Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Hive Live's official coverage of Barnet against Wealdstone, a fierce local rivalry coming up for you today. How are you, first of all, my co-commentator Brian Matovu?
I'm good, thank you, Rory. How about you? Looking forward to this one today, mate.
Yeah, you're listening to myself, Rory Edwards, as well. I'll be taking you through the game. Now, of course, we must start with our pre-match coverage of the fact that Barnet Football Club have lost a football match.
Crazy. I mean, it's something that hasn't happened for so long. 25 games unbeaten, and since October was the last time Barnet lost, which was away to York, and it was just a weird feeling because, you know, Barnet don't lose games. They always find a way to get a last-minute draw, score a late goal to win the game. But you have to give credit to Braintree, the opponent last week. They played very well. Dean Brennan said it. Connor Smith also said it. They were the better side. They deserved to win. Arguably deserved to win by more goals. But it's just a little blip in the arm. I wouldn't call it a main concern. You're going to have these games throughout the season. For Barnet to lose one game in 26 is something that you take. 8 points, kill at top of the league. But it's all about bouncing back today, and what a way to do it is against Wealdstone.
Well, exactly. 25 games unbeaten is no mean feat, is it? But I was there at the game, and I have to say, I agree with the management, the assessment that the management gave. Braintree more than deserved the win. They were the much better side on the day. They played the pitch. The pitch was really poor. Obviously, Callum Stead got the opening goal from a kind of ruthless counter-attack, which is actually the sort of goal that Braintree score, ironically. So B struck first blood, but it was Lisby who got the equaliser. Kyrell, I believe it was,
really
who got the finish. And he went up to the Barnet fans and spread his arms out as if to say, you know, I'm the big one, you know. And it was a bit of a confusing moment because no one had really said anything to him up until that point. So interesting to see that kind of attitude, but it clearly shows he's got something about him, I guess.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to show, listen, Barnet top of the league, big side coming to town, scores a really good goal. If you've got to give him credit. To beat Owen Evans is a big accomplishment, and he's just taking it full for it. Looked at the Barnet fans and said, yeah, this is me, this is who I am. Maybe it's a little like practice for saying, sign me up for next season potentially.
Yeah. Well, you almost like to see that kind of arrogance in a player sometimes. It makes the game more interesting. Yeah. But anyway, it was a good finish by him. Even though Evans had a pretty good first half, he made a few really decent saves. But the second half, Barnet just sort of fell apart. The substitutions didn't really help. Joe Grimwood was one of those substitutions, and I have to say, probably one of Dean Brennan's more disastrous substitutions this season. Yeah, I mean, Joe Grimwood didn't hold himself in high regard last week. I mean, he could have given away a penalty moments beforehand when he brought down Lisby. Referee waved it away, but like you said, the second goal, big John Akinde, who, you know, Barnet folklore, Barnet legend, held in high regard here. He gave credit for scoring against York a couple weeks prior, but he just had his way with Joe Grimwood, you know, rolled him once, and as Dean Brennan said, he got rolled him again, just brought down, scored the penny, picked himself back up, and, you know, it's a shame for Joe Grimwood because, you know, he's a young player, someone who's come in, and he has played adequately when he's come in, but last week was a poor performance from him, and like I said, just didn't work out for him. Yeah, former Braintree as well, Joe Grimwood as well, went back on loan as well this season for them. But as you say, John Akinde was the one. It had to be, of course, John Akinde scoring. How many penalties has he scored for the Bees over the years? Was instrumental in the title-winning season 10 years ago under Martin Allen. And of course, he got the last-minute penalty to win the game. He didn't celebrate. Fair play to him for that. I'm not really a big one on that. You know, I think if you play for a new club, you're entitled to do so. But it was a mark of respect, wasn't it? Yeah, mark of respect. And like you said, I mean, he's done the damage already. He scored a goal. Do you know what I mean? That's the last thing you want to do. But it's not as if we were running over to the Barnet fans, did an Adebayor and started celebrating in front of the fans. Or Lisby. Yeah, or totally unnecessary. Yeah, absolutely. So, of course, it was a loss for Barnet against Braintree, the first in a long time. And what it does mean, let's take you through the permutations, because I think people will be interested. I'm sure they already know, but if you don't, let's go through the permutations of what happens if Barnet beat Wealdstone today, how can they win the league? How soon can they win the league? So the Braintree loss just makes things a little tiny bit more perilous, just a tiny bit, and introduces the most infinitesimal seed of doubt. But if Barnet beat Wealdstone, right, it depends on York. York who face Aldershot at home today. If they pick up 6 points from their next 2 games, the earliest Barnet can win it is Sutton away, but Barnet would also need to beat Eastleigh, of course. Mm-hmm. If Barnet don't beat Eastleigh in that scenario, it would go to the Aldershot game.
Okay.
If York pick up 3 or 4 points from the next 2, so they could win today and draw at Gateshead next week, Barnet can actually win it at home to Eastleigh.
Wow.
Which at 5:30 that day, which would probably be the ideal situation for the Bees. However, if York pick up just 1 point from the next 2 or less, so if they draw 1, lose another or lose both, Barnet will actually win it before they play against Eastleigh once the Gateshead game is over. And I think that's not the nicest way to win the league when you're not playing.
Absolutely.
But fortunately for the Bees, I think it's quite an unlikely situation that York will lose both those games. And obviously, of course, there is the small possibility that Barnet do not beat Wealdstone today. And if they don't, if York win both their next games, they could be just 2 or 3 points behind Barnet before the Eastleigh game, which just puts extra pressure on that Eastleigh game. So plenty to play for both sides, both Barnet and Wealdstone, which we'll get onto. But it's going to be a really interesting game.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we love about football, is title races, and like you said, it literally all depends on York. Obviously, Barnet's all got to win their games, but it just depends what York City do. Do you know what I mean? So Barnet win today, that puts pressure on York. Listen, York know they have to win all their games regardless. There's no for them. But Barnet, there is that room for error. Of course, they want to win every single game. But like you said, if Barnet were not to beat Wealdstone and York were to win both games, that would be mental. From an 11-point gap to just a 2 or 3 point gap would be crazy. But I think Barnet do the business today, and I think hopefully York drop points either today or next Friday, so that Barnet fans can see their team win the title in front of their home fans, live on DAZN, and that's what you want as a fan, really. You want it to be in your hands, and hopefully that's the case.
100,000% on that one. Now, of course, there is a connection between the 2 clubs. Dean Brennan won the National League South with Wealdstone. He initially turned down an approach from Barnet in 2020. He stayed loyal to Wealdstone. And according to Dino, the loyalty was misplaced and he was effectively let go. He then joined Barnet as head of football. Harry Kewell got sacked, which he was obviously part of. Took the job on himself, and the rest is kind of history, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Dean Brennan, he got Wealdstone up. I know obviously it was a point per game during the COVID time, but listen, he was a good manager for Wealdstone, and since he's been at Barnet, I mean, he's been a godsend. He's turned this club around. He's made the club who they are today, challenger for playoff promotion, challenger for the title this year. Hopefully, Barnet should be going up. So Brennan's really turned the side around, and that's kind of what Wealdstone have missed. You look at how Barnet and Wealdstone have progressed over the last couple of seasons. Dean Brennan's been one of the main factors in that, and today's could show exactly why Barnet got Dean Brennan, and he's going to show that today, hopefully. Yeah,
and of course, Connor Smith as well. He was at the Stones under Brennan. 51 appearances for them, scored a couple of goals as well. And Reece Brown, who starts today, he had 42 appearances for the Stones, and he scored 13 goals for them as well. So you just know Reece Brown is going to score today, surely.
Yes, I mean, he did against Woking, played for them, scored against them, and it would be the perfect story. Reece Brown to score a winner or a late goal, Dean Brennan to run on the pitch against their old side. It'd just be poetic, it would be brilliant.
Well, indeed. Now, Wealdstone are actually a bit of a bogey side for the Bees in recent times. They've only beaten them at the Hive once since 2020, and that was a 2-0 win in 2022. The last time these two met at the Hive, it was a 1-1 draw. Harry Pritchard, our ex-co-commentator, Harry Pritchard, missed a penalty in that game to make it 2-0. And they scored a ridiculously late equaliser, did Wealdstone. The Josh Keeley, who was on loan for the Bees, did his star jump, where he sort of jumped over the ball, and it was a bit of a humiliating moment, really. And that late equaliser actually did prompt some unpleasantness in the away end, so let's hope we don't see any of that silliness today.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's antipathy over Barnet's move to the Hive as well. There's history there. I believe Wealdstone claimed the ground was 85% built before Barnet finished it off, and that's become a bit of a recurring theme. So, yeah, definitely a bit of antipathy between the two sides.
Absolutely. Listen, both sides don't like each other. Obviously, got a history, obviously, Dean Brennan being there, the late goals, the rivalry games, and that's what rivalry is all about. They're like we're also like the little brother of Barnet, and to be fair, listen, you can tell by the league table, Barnet are in first, Wealdstone are down in, 19th place, so it's going to be a hectic one today. They brought a good amount as well. Fair play to Wealdstone. I know it's a short trip, but
it's only out the road.
They've turned out in their numbers, in their drones, so it's going to be a great atmosphere for today.
It certainly is. And Wealdstone, Barnet are not facing Wealdstone of old. Under Neil Gibson, they're a team rejuvenated.
Yep.
Neil Gibson has already won 7 games, which is a game, one more win than Matt Taylor managed in his entire Wealdstone career this season before he moved to Solihull, and he's dragged Solihull into the mix as well. So,
but also they're in great form. They won 2 games back to back, beat Forest Green, they beat Boston recently. So listen, they're arguably in better form than Barnet over the last 2 games, if you want to counter like that. And they're coming to this game full of confidence. 3 wins in their last 5, 7 wins out of their last 12. So they're by no means an easy side. They've got a striker banging form as well. Alex Reid scored as many goals as Callum said, who he thinks had a really good season. So just goes to show you they are a threat, but they do let in a lot of goals. I mean, Barnet score the most, so you expect Barnet to score a few goals today, but derby game form goes out the window. So just looking forward to it, and I can't wait for it to begin.
I forgot to tell you, form goes out the window is a banned phrase on commentary. It's so cliche.
Too cliche.
But you're absolutely right. It does in a sense. But Stones have only picked up 19 points from their 20 away matches. Barnet's home record, we don't need to go on about it. It is quite ridiculous. 54 points out of 20 games.
Unbelievable.
That ain't bad, is it?
It's not bad at all. I mean, given the home form, you don't give Wealdstone a chance, but like we say all the time, Wealdstone would love to be the team to end Barnet's unbeaten home run with just 2 home games left. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, Eastleigh and Aldershot, absolutely. So, as we await the teams to come out, the atmosphere is building here at the Hive. Thank you very much to those who have joined us early doors on Hive Live on the Barnet Football Club YouTube channel. We hope you're having a great start to your Saturday and your weekend. Thanks for choosing us to listen in. And we hope we can bring you an exciting game today. Well, the teams are coming out now. Barnet versus Wealdstone was, of course, the very first match televised on the BBC in 1946. The Bees coming out with a 3-2 victory that day that helped them on their way to becoming Athenian League champions. Could history be about to repeat itself 79 years later? With just 5 games to go and a slip-up against Braintree after an incredible run of 25 games unbeaten, with York continuing their own impressive form, the very tiniest seed of doubt may have been implanted, but here is an opportunity to right the wrongs of last week and continue what has been an almost unassailable push for the National League title. But of course, they'll have to do it against a rejuvenated Wealdstone side who, under Neil Gibson, will be full of confidence. He said it himself after wins against informed Boston and high-flying big spenders Forest Green. And here on Hive Live, we're looking forward to what should be a feisty, full-blooded affair, Brian.
Absolutely, Rory. I mean, what an intro that is. Sets the game up perfectly. And listen, like you said, Wealdstone are near the bottom of the table. You say this game's a free hit. They've got 2 massive games after this over Easter weekend. But you can't ever take games for granted in this league. You know how important it is. And for Barnet, it's about getting back to winning ways, showing everyone why you're top of the league. Lost last week, you got a point to prove. And what a time against Wealdstone, your local rivals. So it's going to be a cracker. I'm looking forward to it. You're looking forward to it. Everyone's looking forward to it. Let's go.
So, 4 changes for Barnet from the side that lost against Braintree. Ben Coker, we think, is going to be starting at left wing back, and Love, there he is on the pitch, applauding the fans for the brilliant atmosphere that is building right in front of us here up on the gantry. Mark Shelton is back in midfield after a period out with injury. Reece Brown also starts for the Bees. He came on as a sub last time out. Former Wealdstone, Reece Brown, let's hasten to add. Tavares drops to the bench after picking up a knock at Braintree, and Zach Brunt, Dom Telford and Harry Chapman also dropped to the bench. Joe Grimwood is of course suspended after getting sent off and giving away the penalty that led to that Akinde winner. For Wealdstone, young winger Dom Hutchinson is back in the fold. Adrian Mariappa comes in for Conor McAvoy. Adrian Mariappa, a Watford legend and a veteran. Conor McAvoy not in the squad at all. And Mika Obiero is back in contention for Wealdstone. He's on the bench after a long absence. So full line-up then for Barnet. Owen Evans in goal. Ben Coker, Kenlock, Aluwo, Collinge and Glover make up that back five. Hartigan, Shelton in the double pivot. Stead and Brown just behind and Love. And for Wealdstone, it's Dante Baptiste, Dion Woodman, Alex Dyer, Enzio Boldevine, Max Kretschmar, Will Randall, Dom Hutchinson, Adrian Mariappa, who captains the side today, Callum Cisse, Alex Reid and Tyler Walker making up the exciting front two as Callum Stead has the ball on the centre circle and is getting ready for kick-off here. A roar from the B Army there, and the fans look really up for this on a sun-soaked high pitch.
Yeah, look really up for it, and I think Wealdstone must have won the coin toss because they've switched ends, and maybe that's a psychological win for them already, but we'll have to wait and see.
So it's Shelton and Stead standing over the ball on the centre circle as anticipation builds for this feisty local derby. And it's the Bees fans in full voice as Stead kicks us off. It's the Bees against the Stones, a feisty local derby. Who is going to come out on top here in Barnet's quest for the National League title? Here's Shelton. And Love just on the edge of the area fouls his man, and it's a free kick to Wealdstone just on the edge of their own penalty area. It really is a stunning day today, isn't it?
Oh, so beautiful. Blue sky, sun's out, summertime, everyone's wearing their shorts, their Barnet tops on. It's amazing to see, and the Hive is more or less full as well, which is also what we love to see too, and it's going to be a cracking game today.
Dante Baptiste takes the ball long. It'll be headed forward by Adi Aluwo. And it's won by Reece Brown inside the Bees half. Here's Stead. Plays it square to Glover. Gets it forward to Brown. First touch to Callum Stead just on this near side, being hounded and harried, but checks back, holds on to the ball. Brilliant footwork from him, and he carries on down this near side. Lays it off to Glover. Glover gets it in towards the middle, but it was too close to keeper Dante Baptiste, who clutches that with firm hands.
Yeah, nice one from Callum Stead. They're getting involved right away. Plays in. Ryan Glover gets the ball. It's not a bad ball, to be fair. If Love gets it across the near post, he might get a touch on it. But positive start from the Bees so far.
Yes, it was such a poor performance really against Braintree. Dean Brennan was really annoyed by the standards not being adhered to, but as he did say as well, it wasn't they didn't have the ideal preparation. They arrived late and didn't train as much as they could have done on the pitch as well. So mitigating factors, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sure. And I think Dean Brennan, he's someone who's experienced. He will know Barnet have a high standard. He's brought the high standards to the Hive, to the Beast players, and they'll all know last year just wasn't good enough for the side that's been brilliant the whole season. So today's the perfect day to just put that right the wrongs, and push down 3 points closer to winning the league title.
Here come the Stones on the far side. Shelton clears towards Love, who holds it up, and that was missing last time out, and he's been fouled by Dion Woodman there, who had hold of him, and the Bees win a free kick, and I think it was Mark Shelton. Was it Ben Coker or Mark Shelton going for a long ranger, trying to catch Dante Baptiste off his line, but that was a waste, and it goes straight into the keeper's hands.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good look, but yeah, I would have had to be something special to beat Baptiste from that range.
Here come the Stones just on the halfway line. Ball is played back to the Wealdstone defender. Adrian Mariappa. It goes long towards Reid. He's always a handful. He's up against Aluwo. Reid is going to get the better of him here. Tries to get the ball into the box with his left, but Aluwo stands firm and the ball comes out for the Bees. Glover plays it forward to Stead. Stead lays it off to the far side with Ben Coker. Infield to Shelton. Good to see him back.
Oh, absolutely. Missing his bursting runs, late runs in the box. That's what Wild Shelton brings. It brings goals.
Ball played down the left channel to Love, who almost gets the better of his man, but it was good defending in the end there by Woodman, and Wealdstone come out. Sorry, you were saying about Shelton.
Yeah, Mark Shelton, I mean, he's been a great signing, first of all. The amount of goals he brings, the energy he brings, the drive he brings in that midfield. And we know that him and Hartigan are just a great midfield pairing, and that's something you always want to keep consistent, is the midfield for the Bees. And this season they've been one of the best two midfield partnerships of the season so far. So Tamer back starting after a few weeks out, came off the bench last week into Braintree for a few minutes, but it's good to see him back from starting lineup, and hopefully he can bring that energy again today.
Owen Evans goes along towards Reese Brown, but it's headed clear, but only as far as Mark Shelton, and he lays it off to Brown. Great touch from him. Brown goes for the shot, and it's parried in the end by Baptiste, who holds on to it at the second time of asking. He was fouled by Brown in the process.
Yeah, the man who we're talking about, Mark Shelton, wins the ball out up the pitch, plays into Reece Brown. It's a good first touch. He is stretching for it, gets a decent contact on it, but I think it's a comfortable save from Baptiste. But fair play to Baptiste for getting the rebound as well, collecting it and making sure that the ball can be away from danger, winning a free kick.
So it is Baptiste to take the free kick from inside his area, goes along. Aluwo's going to win that header easily towards Love, and Love chests it down, but loose touch there, and ball played over the top as he tried to find Reed, but it was far too long, and Evans will just see this one out for a goal kick. 5 minutes gone, Barnet 0, Wealdstone 0. And it's the Bees fans you can hear making all the noise.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they've got the most shout about this season. Fantastic season, unbeaten at home, 21 league games, no defeats, and on the brink of a League 2 promotion, so they should be buzzing.
Yeah, the loss against Braintree just delays things a tiny bit.
It does.
There was actually a scenario very recently in which the Bees could have won the league on this day, and Wealdstone could have gone down on this day, but alas, not to be.
Yeah. I do remember mentioning that, actually. It was a few weeks ago, wasn't it?
It would have been too much of a fairy tale, I think. Glover gets it over to Danny Collins on this right-hand side. He's bombed forward. Forced back to Glover again. Glover driving forward up against Randall. Gets one into the box. Stead gets the header, but it was a little bit too high for him. And the header is over the bar and out for a goal kick. But the Bees fans applaud the effort.
Yeah, good work from Glover. Switching sides, normally on the left-hand side, so brilliant there. So on the right-hand side, a bit of a different proposition. He can't cut in as much because we know that's his bread and butter, cutting in, getting shots off. So now we're mainly about whipping crosses in from the right side. Now it's a good delivery, first of all, just a bit high for Callum Stead, and goes higher, wide over the bar.
Baptiste goes along again. Aluwo wins the header, but it's kind of in the wrong direction. Ball comes in towards the middle. Oh, it's fumbled by Owen Evans just for a second there, but the second time of asking holds on to it.
Yeah.
And the normally very reliable Owen Evans, just a tiny shaky moment there for him.
A little shaky moment, but he dealt with it pretty well. I mean, there is a handful. Alex Reed up top. He's in banging form at the moment, and Bees defence will have to be on point to make sure he doesn't get on the score sheet today.
Here's Adi Aluwo for the Bees. Inside the Wealdstone half now with Anthony Hartigan, who had a rare off day against Braintree, but he's played a lovely ball through to Danny Collins, spreads the play to Glover, gets one in towards the middle, and it's across the face of goal from Ben Coker, who was sliding in. But that was really good build-up play from the Bees.
Again, really good play. It's this right-hand side again. Ryan Glover was saying his delivery's got to be on point. That's another great delivery. Unfortunately, Lee and Love, or no one else running, could get a touch, but Ben Coker at the back post, he gets his foot on there. It's a tough angle, but he just whips it back across, and unfortunately for the Bees, he just couldn't go in. But a really nice play on that right-hand side, and that's what's looking like. It's going to be problems for Wealdstone at the moment. Ball comes in, no one there to touch in, and
it was across the face of goal from Coker, but yeah, great build-up play, great attacking play for the Bees, who are kind of showing their quality at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wealdstone not really able to get any sort of foothold so far.
Yeah, like I say, from most sides, most away sides that come in never usually dominate the ball out of possession, and I think Wealdstone, they've got a bank of 5 at the back when they're defending, so I think that's what they'll look to do: counter-attack, play on set pieces, And just, they conceded a lot of goals, Wealdstone, to be fair, so I think they're going to go into this game believing that they can do that today.
In fairness, they did keep a clean sheet against Boston at home.
They did.
And that was Dante Baptiste's debut.
Okay.
He's been at Wealdstone a long time, never played a match for them. And he's preferred now as their first choice keeper.
Yeah.
Here comes Collins over to the right hand side now with Glover, who's been a real tricky player so far. Cuts inside on his left, lays it off to Hartigan, who tries to place one into the far corner, but it's held by the aforementioned Baptiste.
Yeah, Ryan Glover, these first 9 minutes or so, Ryan Glover's been at the heart of everything again. Driving, playing it back to Hartigan. It was a good open look, to be fair, but doesn't get the contact or purchase that he would like normally. And it's a comfortable save for Baptiste, but he's been in action a lot.
Here's Kretschmar for Wealdstone, goes down, and it looked like he'd gone down a little bit easily there. My co-commentator is shaking his head, and referee Gareth Rhodes has awarded Wealdstone a pretty soft free kick, in all honesty.
Really soft. Kretschmar's lucky there. Hartigan won the ball back so cleanly, but he just goes down, and referee's going to give that. In the modern day of football now, you get a touch, you go down, it's a free kick, so...
Yeah, well, it's Baptiste to take. It's well inside the Wealdstone half on this near side. Baptiste dinks one down the left channel. Collins heads it forward, but it almost found Tyler Walker. Here's Collins. Glover cutting inside in his own area. That was dangerous play from Glover.
It was.
A little bit overconfident, but Love wins it back in the middle of the pitch. And here comes Stead for the Bees as they try and launch a counter-attack just past the halfway line. Here's Coker on that left-hand side. Stead makes an overlapping run. Coker finds Stead. Stead gets his feet all tangled up there and loses the ball. Wealdstone play it down the right channel towards Reed. Heads it back in field. But Aluwo was too quick there, and it's back with Owen Evans now, just on his own D. Yeah, plays it forward to Hartigan. But that was a risky play from Ryan Glover, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, and it was funny because Owen Evans was giving him an angle, so he was out of his goal at the time. So had Glover given the ball away, he would have been a tap-in for the Wealdstone player. So really, really interesting that part. But as the Bees are good at the back, no problems.
Here's Mariappa for Wealdstone. Over to the left-hand side with Kretschmar being pressed by Hartigan. Gets it back to Mariappa, plays it down the line to Randall, who leaves it. And Collins gets the better of Walker there, and the Bees win it back. Now Aluwo driving forward on the centre circle, plays it over to the left-hand side with Coker. Lays it off for Mark Shelton. Shelton, oh, that's a loose ball to Anthony Hartigan, and it's one back. And the Stones try and play it forward, but it's easily intercepted by Aluwo, and the Bees come again with another attack with Kenlock now. Kenlock plays the ball over to Coker, not enough on it though, and the sliding challenge concedes a throw into the Bees deep in the Wealdstone half on the far side.
Yeah, that's something the Bees have to look at, is just giving the ball away cheaply. Actually picked up, and there was a pass there for Cisse, to be fair. If he found him, he was away, and luckily for Adi Aluwo, good positioning for him, to be fair, to intercept it.
Maybe a sign of slight rustiness from Shelton there, who's been out for a little while and only came on as a sub last time out. Maybe needs a bit of time to warm up.
Yeah.
But it's a throw into Wealdstone in the exact same position, right on that far side in their own half. And Wealdstone fans giving it back to the Bees fans at the moment.
Yeah.
Shelton heads it forward. Wealdstone win it back in their own area, and they've got a chance to build out from the back now with Mariappa. Watford legend Mariappa.
Yeah.
Spent 7 years at the club.
Played for Crystal Palace as well. FA Cup finals in that side.
He's a proper veteran, isn't he?
Yeah. Good career.
Ball played down the right channel towards Walker, but it's out for a goal kick. Owen Evans just lets that one run. And 12 and a half minutes gone, Barnet 0, Wealdstone 0. Barnet with a couple of half chances, really. Reece Brown maybe with the best one so far.
Yeah. Just
on that right-hand side, drilled one towards the front post of Dante Baptiste, but he held on to it at the second time of asking. Collins plays the ball down the right channel towards Glover. Glover lets it run, and he's going to collect this up against Randall. He's forced back by Randall, and it's Collins again, just on this near side. Plays a 1-2 with Hartigan, and now Shelton. Just on the halfway line. Now Kenlock over to the left. Coker wants it, but he goes infield to Reese Brown, who was in a bit of space. Hartigan gets it over to Collins. Collins lays it off to Glover on this right-hand side. Will he get a cross in? No. Goes into the penalty area. Can he get the ball in now? Dinks one into the back post. Coker wins the header. It's headed away. It'll be collected by Shelton. Great trap from him, and Hartigan gets it back out to the left with Coker. And now Kenlock. Back with Coker on the left-hand side. First time ball to Kenlock. Cuts inside. Gets it over to Coker. Pulls it back. Glover. Glover just got that horribly wrong. He sort of fell over the ball and lost his balance. And you'd expect such better quality from Glover.
Honestly,
there.
It was fantastic play from Barnet on that left-hand side between Kenlock and Coker. And he actually said, ball falls to Ryan Glover in the box, and literally as soon as he's about to hit, he just trips up over it. That would have been 1-0.
You don't see that often from Ryan Glover. And here's in Love. Lays it off to Glover. Just on that right-hand side. Lays it off to Danny Collins. Drills one into the middle. Baptiste gets an arm to it. But it wasn't the most convincing, and it's away for a Wealdstone throw on the far side. But the Bees looking pretty threatening at the moment. It's a good spell for them. Yeah,
the Bees are working their way around the sides really, really well. Left-hand side of threat, right-hand side of threat between Glover and Collins, same as Coker and Kenlock. So they're doing really well to get those overloads and getting balls in the box. And to be fair to the Wealdstone keeper, he's dealt with them pretty well. But over time, surely one of them is going to fall to the right person and Barnet will be able to take the lead.
Well, here comes Callum Stead. Will he go from distance? That's a really good block by Mariappa, and here's Shelton. Back over to Glover, now Stead, just inside the penalty area, now out of it. Still Stead. Plays it back to Danny Collins, who's looking like an influential player today so far. Now Glover again, taking on Randall. Lays it off to Collins, in towards the middle. And it'll be surely cleared away. No, not cleared away properly by Wealdstone. Glover gets it over to Shelton and back over to Coker. Keeping Wealdstone penned in. Coker gets one into the box and Love rises for it. It's too high for him really. And it drops down and Wealdstone can clear. And the referee's given a foul there against Barnet. And Wealdstone win a free kick right inside their own half as they tried to get away.
Yeah, the approach play from the Bees so far has been brilliant on either side. I mean, they're getting the overloads, they're playing really, really well, recycling the possession, making sure that all the plays in the Wealdstone's defensive third, to be fair, that's what we also got to do. Relieve the pressure, win free kicks, just to slow Barnet down because they look like they're in their groove at the moment.
Walker is tackled and here's Callum Stead. Bees launching another attack here. Here's Brown, just on the edge of the D, twisting and turning and commits a foul. Barnet fans are really angry with that one because Brown just looked like he'd dribbled round the player, but he has committed a foul in the process. And Gareth Rose, the referee, is making an early statement here that he's not going to be tolerant of much.
To be fair to Gareth Rose, I see why he called it. Reese Brown, as soon as he dribbled past him, he did catch the Wealdstone defender, and to be fair to Reese Brown, he should have picked out Liam Love. He was wide open for a pass. I think Brian held the ball for a bit too long. Unfortunately for him, he gave the foul away, but yeah, he's not in the Bees fans' biggest books for the moment, Gareth Rhodes, is he?
No, he certainly isn't. Here comes Walker for Wealdstone. Gets it over to the left-hand side with Randall, but it's well over here. And is it going to actually go out for a goal kick? Yes, it is. Olays from the Bees fans, and it's a goal kick that Owen Evans will take. Randall was disappointed in the quality of that ball there. It was a half-decent chance to launch an attack there for the Stones, but just showing why they're, in and around the relegation zone at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, that frustrated Neil Gibson a lot, man. When you win possession of the back against Barnet, you've got to make the most of it. And just giving the ball away that so cheaply is going to be really disappointing for him because Barnet are going to dominate the ball. So when they get in possession, they've got to make the most of it, especially in transition.
Yeah, Collins tried to lift one over just then down the right channel for Stead, but it was well over hit, and it's a goal kick to Wealdstone. Baptiste will take. Wealdstone still in the thick of the relegation battle, really, but in recent times they've picked up decent results. Yep. 2 wins, one against Boston, one against Forest Green, and that's no easy feat
at all.
So fair play to them for that. Alex Reid at the double. Here comes Brown for Barnet. Coker loses the ball on the left-hand side and Stones win it back. Played forward, but it's loose and Hartigan intercepts, although Wealdstone just about win that back and they play out. And here's Reid, gets it back to the middle with Kretschmar. Now over to the left-hand side. with Mariappa. Randall, first time ball into Reed, but it was far too short. That's a really heavy touch from Danny Collins, and Kretschmar wins it back. Tries to swerve one towards Reed, but it's intercepted by Glover, and Owen Evans takes no chances and launches one onto the roof of the West Stand. Throw into Wealdstone inside the Barnet half.
Yeah, just like you mentioned about Wealdstone and them being there, like you said, those two massive wins over Forest Green and Boston really has elevated them out of the relegation, but like you said, they're no means out of it, just 5 points off, and given that most people expected to lose today, you'd anticipate that it will be even narrower at the end of proceedings today.
Well, it's a bit of a free hit this game for them in a way, even though it is a derby. Here come Wealdstone, they're offside now. And it's a free kick for the Bees. But it's a bit of a free hit, really, isn't it? There's not a huge amount of expectation on Wealdstone to win the game. But it's a derby, and you never know what can happen.
Definitely. And they've got Boston and Maynard over the Easter weekend. Those are the two fixtures you're going to want to get maximum points from. So, like you said, a free hit this game.
Yeah. Here comes Kenlock driving forward. What a run this is from Kenlock. Has he been fouled? No, he just overran the ball slightly. It was a great run initially. Good tackle from Aluo high up the pitch, and it's a free it's a throw into Wealdstone in their own half.
Kenlock's obviously scored his first goal for the club against Gateshead in the last home game, so it
was a great finish as well.
Really good finish from that left-hand side, and going forward, he's always been a threat. He always has a good delivery on him, and I think just they overran the ball. I think it was just a collision afterwards with the player rather than it being a foul. But hopefully he's all right.
Yeah, well, the physio has been called for Miles Kenlock, because as he overran the ball, he wasn't fouled, but he might have overstretched slightly or been caught late.
Yeah.
But it is a chance for the Bees to grab a drink on the hot, sunny pitch. It's looking like an absolute carpet today, as usual.
Yeah, best pitch in the league. Absolutely.
Certainly better than Braintree.
Said about a lot of other teams as well.
Yeah, Altrincham, Halifax,
Rochdale.
Yeah.
But I think that's a really big factor. It allows Barnet to play their football at the Hive, and no wonder they're unbeaten at home, because there's no excuse for them to talk about the pitch or its condition. It's always good. And at this level, especially at Christmas time, when pitches get frozen, Barnet always seem to have their games on, other than that one game against Hartlepool, which was obviously rescheduled, but really solid pitch here at the Hive.
Well, so far Neil Gibson's men holding their own, even though there have definitely been several openings for the Bees. They haven't been managed to capitalise, and the quality hasn't quite been there so far, has it? I mean, Ryan Glover epitomising it really by having a brilliant chance for. You'd expect him to score.
Yeah.
You'd expect him to score, and I don't know really what happened. His feet just got in a tangle. He was like Woody from Toy Story.
It was such a good play on the left-hand side. There was overloads, Kenlock and Coco, and like you said, falls to him, literally 6-yard box, just trips over his own feet, and unfortunately he's not able to put it in, but I'm sure next time he'll finish it off Ryan Glover. He's had a brilliant season so far.
Certainly has. He's allowed one of those.
Yeah, he's allowed one of those.
But you would expect better from Ryan Glover, who is definitely in contention for player of the season.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of Barnet players are, aren't they?
Yeah, you can't nominate the whole team though, sadly. Here's Collins, plays it over to the left with Aluo. Drives past the halfway line. Every Wealdstone player in their own half. Kenlock. Now Coker, back to Kenlock. Thankfully looks okay. He's been ever present this season, of course. Barely missed any minutes. Pretty sure he's started every single game.
Yeah, fantastic
almost
durability.
Indispensable player for the Bees. And it was a delight to see him get, as you mentioned, his first goal. And the players were absolutely chuffed for him as well. Look at the reactions from them as well, beaming from ear to ear. They were, by all accounts, a great character in the dressing room.
Absolutely. Brilliant signing. Came in the summer on a free from Ebbsfleet, and you look at where Ebbsfleet are now, to be fair, but it's been a godsend. Ever present, ever consistent. Never wrong, never does anything bad. Top player.
Don't jinx it. Here comes Callum Stead for the Bees, just inside the Wealdstone half. Brilliant ball inside to Mark Shelton, who's got a bit of space to operate. What can he do here? Tries to feed and love, but didn't get enough on it. And Shelton struggling a little bit. And here come Wealdstone through the middle. That's overhit. And that was a brilliant opportunity for Stones to launch a counter there. But the ball through the middle was so poor.
Yeah, once again, the transition, that's it is for Wealdstone. It's in transition when Barnet have got less numbers at the back, and that's a really, really poor pass of Callum Cease. I mean, Walker's got acres of space, and to play out of the pitch is really, really poor. And another missed opportunity for the Stones, but one that Barnet should be careful of, because they do have a lot of pace and quality in attack.
Well,
Yeah.
Commentator's curse. Owen Evans has just played the ball out of play. And it's a Wealdstone throw just around the halfway line on this near side. 23 minutes gone, Barnet 0, Wealdstone 0. Thank you to those, again, who are tuning in. Warren Horn is listening from Wellington, New Zealand. I know you've tuned in before, Warren, so welcome back to the coverage. Alex Dyer plays it infield to Cisse. Now over to the right-hand side. Here come Wealdstone with a little spell of possession now. Infield to Dyer. He's got Mariappa to the left, who he finds. Bees holding their shape. Here's Randall. Tries to go through the middle, but it's a really loose touch, and the Bees win it back easily. Here's Anthony Hartigan. Through the middle to Brown. Brown runs forward now. Plays it over to the left-hand side with Coker. Lays it off for Kenlock. First time into Brown. All on that far side at the moment. Brown gets it over to the left-hand side with Coker. Has that taken a nick for a throw-in? No, it hasn't. Brown and Coker were claiming for the throw, but it's a Wealdstone throw, according to Gareth Rhodes.
Yeah. Reece Brown not happy with that decision or that call. Another one to add to the Gareth Rhodes not liked book. And
there's a Wealdstone player who's actually gone down on the halfway line there.
Tyler Walker, looks like. Son of Des Walker, Forest legend.
And it's another opportunity to get a drink. Just a few minutes after they already got one. And been a bit slightly flat for the past 10, 15 minutes or so after a quite a decent start from the Bees. It's petered out slightly, hasn't it?
Yeah, petered out slightly. I mean, Wilson would definitely be the happier of the two sides. You know, it's still 0-0. I think Barnet haven't created any clear opportunities. Obviously, the Glover chance would have been a clear guy. He got his foot sorted out, but I think Dean Brennan will be fairly happy with his side in terms of controlling possession. But I think he'll be telling them you can't be giving the ball away. A couple of cheap passes Barnet have given away, which has allowed Wilson to transition in attack, but Wilson have just been poor in that transition. So I think Neil Gibbs will be telling his side, when you get possession, make sure you make the right pass and make sure it's accurate, because Wilson do have opportunities, and you've got a guy banging full, man, 16 league goals for a side down the bottom. That's treasure. So they'll both give him opportunities, but 25 minutes gone, I think it's been a fairly even match, I'd say, but Barnet definitely the better of the two sides.
Yeah, no, fair enough. It's been relatively low on quality so far, despite those one or two opportunities. Yeah. So 26 minutes gone. It is Barnet 0, Wealdstone 0. Yeah. Of course, in the early kickoff here on Hive Live under Zone. York still to play Aldershot later. And Tyler Walker is actually going to be coming off here.
Yeah.
And Mika Obiero, who's had quite a long period out, is going to be brought on here. And that's a shame for Walker, really, because Colin Smith described him as an exciting player who should be playing higher up the leagues.
Yeah, he is. He's currently on from Lincoln City, so that's obviously a League One side. So he's definitely got ability with him. Was at Nottingham Forest as well, but yeah, he's just pulled his hamstring, it looks like, and 25 minutes gone. That's a shame.
Well, the referee, is he going to be giving a free kick for Wealdstone here? Just by the touchline. No, he hasn't. He's given it
to Barnet.
Bit of a surprising one, that. Here comes Ryan Glover, just on the right hand side now with Callum Stead taking on Mariappa. Still Stead, twisting and turning, but Mariappa uses his experience and tackles him, but it's only as far as Ryan Glover gets in the cross, and it hits the head of Randall, who squats on the pitch, having taken that heavy whack in the head. Glover just gives him an encouraging tap, and it's a corner kick for the Bees, first of the game.
Yeah, that will hurt in the morning for Will Randall. Right in the face, but opportunity for the Bees. Yeah. Set piece, looks like Ben Coke's going to take it, and he's always got an expert delivery.
What was it? Wand of a left foot, is it?
Yeah, wand of a left foot. We know what Ben Coke
the usual phrase, yeah.
Haven't got a bad right foot of Hartigan on either side of him as well, so two quality dead ball specialists about to take this corner.
Well, let's see if his wand of a left foot can cast a spell here on Wealdstone. It is going to be Coker with the inner swinger right onto the back post. Stead tries to rescue it by hooking it back, but it was well overhit, and it's out for a goal kick. Poor quality, that.
Yeah, poor from Ben Coker.
Hello to Walter Guimarães as well from Curitiba, Brazil. I know you're a regular, Walter, so thanks for tuning in. Mariappa plays out from the back. And here comes Kretschmer on the left-hand side. He's been at Wealdstone a little while now. Mariappa back to Baptiste, the keeper. He's been closed down, but gets it forward first time. Hartigan heads it infield, but it's only going to find Cisse now, and Wealdstone can launch an attack here. And Hutchinson had actually made quite a decent run on the right-hand side. If he'd have found him, Cisse, he might have been in. But here comes Cisse, still got the ball on that right-hand side. Great work from him. Dinks one in towards the box, but no one was there. And Owen Evans holds on to that really easily. Hartigan now infield to Callum Stead. Back with Hartigan now, driving forward for the Bees. And Wealdstone had committed a few attackers up there, and Barnet were a bit slow on the counter there. And it's now back with Kenlock. And the tempo, if you were to criticise anything of this Barnet performance, the tempo's definitely slowed down.
Yeah, it has. I think Wealdstone have got a bit more into the game, got their shape a bit more, much better now. Yeah.
Collins tries one through the middle to In Love, but it was over here, and Baptiste collects that really well. And once again, the quality just not quite there.
Yeah, not quite there. Maybe missing the imagination of a Zach Brunt. You know, can always find a pass.
Well, he is on the bench.
Yeah, he is.
Shelton hooks one forward towards Brown, but it will be left for Ben Coker on the left-hand side. Has Coker won it? Brilliant work from Coker, and he's been hauled to the floor as well. And it's a free kick to the Bees on that far side, and it's Hartigan territory, isn't it?
Yeah, literally, you read my mind. I'm saying this is the angle that Anthony Hartigan likes. York game springs to mind. It was from this sort of angle. Was it York? I always get confused whatever game was.
It was York, yeah. He's done it from York, from a free kick, which went all the way in past Harrison Mill, and he scored a similar. It was a short corner that was taken, and it came back to him, and he hit one first time. That was against Yeovil.
Yeovil, yeah. So this is the angle. This is the angle that he likes.
It is a little bit further back towards the touchline. But if anyone could do it, it's him, as long as he can get it into the mix. Hartigan raises his hand. In it comes from Hartigan, and it's in! It's Adi Aluwo who got the important touch there. Fantastic delivery from Anthony Hartigan yet again. And it looked like it could have been going in anyway, but Aluwo made sure, and it hits the underside of the bar and goes in. The Bees draw first blood. Barnet 1, Wealdstone 0.
We were literally saying it before it was taken. Anthony Hartigan is an expert and a dead ball specialist. What a delivery. It's his angle perfectly. Whips it in swinging corner. I think the goalkeeper, Dante Baptiste, will be disappointed with himself because he looked like he got a hand in it, but Adi Aluwo, 6'4", heads it in. I mean, he hasn't got to get much on it. Heads it in, hits the underside of the bar and goes in, and like I said, the Bees draw first blood. We said there was a lack of quality. Hartigan provides it, Aluwo finishes it, and the Bees draw first blood in this local derby.
Well, you can hear what the Bees fans are saying. What a delivery it was from Hartigan. It did honestly look like, we've just seen a replay of it, it did look like it could be going in.
Yeah.
But Aluwo with an absolute bullet of a header.
Yeah, he made sure.
Absolutely made sure. And it's yet another goal for him. Yet another important goal for Adi Aluwo.
Scored against York City. Scores again today.
It's Adi Aluwo's 4th of the season. Woo-hoo. That's a good return.
Very good return.
For a centre-back that doesn't always play, lest we forget.
Very good return, but anytime the ball goes into the box, he's actually a very good finisher, Adi Aluwo. Look at his goal he scored against York City. Brilliant goal. And also against Rochdale as well, he got a goal in that game too, so always a threat from this dead ball.
Here come Wealdstone. They won a free kick, won a throw in, I beg your pardon, high up the pitch in the Barnet half on the near side, but they've conceded a throw. And the game was low on quality, really, and a moment of brilliance from Anthony Hartigan.
Yep.
Changes the game. Glover with a foul throw there, surely. He's just thrown it, bounced it, and that is absolutely ridiculous.
I mean, yeah, at this level, you wouldn't expect a foul throw, but
it was the most blatant foul throw you've ever seen, and if Wealdstone get something from this, I can already hear the Dean Brennan post-match interview.
Yeah, he'll be seething.
So Mariappa is lining up a long throw for the Stones here. In it goes from Mariappa. Aluwo rises high and it's hooked away by Callum Stead, who takes no chances. Great touch from Hutchinson, and it was Brown who tried to get there, and Hutchinson went down like a sack of bricks.
I mean, it was a brilliant first touch from him in the first place. But yeah, Roose Brown just caught me a little late, went down a bit too easy, but it was definitely a foul. And that goal's injected a bit of a life into this crowd now.
Well, if you're just joining us, of course, it is Barnet 1, Wealdstone 0, courtesy of Adi Aluwo with a bullet header from an Anthony Hardigan free kick. He is just lethal from that territory. Baptiste takes the free kick in towards the Barnet penalty area. It's cleared away eventually. Cisse will rescue this. I say that, but he's got his feet in the muddle and it's out for a Barnet throw-in. In their own half on that far side. Rory Brown has it in his hands, but it looks like he's going to give it to Coker. And that has really G'd up the Bees fans now.
Yeah, absolutely.
The atmosphere has definitely got going. It was good before the match. It died down a little as there wasn't much to sing about in terms of on-field action, but that goal has absolutely rejuvenated the atmosphere here.
Yeah, definitely. They've got something to shout about now and maybe taking a bit of edge off any nerves that any Bees fans might have had going into this derby game.
Yeah, Dean Brennan currently getting one over on his old side.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it would mean a lot. I mean, I'm sure he'd probably say it's just another 3 points, it's just another game.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just another cup final, but I'm sure maybe
inside
there'll be some satisfaction there. Evans plays it out to Danny Collins. Over to the right-hand side with Glover. Glover tries to bend one towards Shelton, but it's well intercepted there by Dyer. But Shelton doesn't give that up and the Bees win it back on the near side. Great work from them, and Glover runs infield and plays a great ball inside to Miles Kenlock, who's being urged to shoot, gets it over to the left with Coker. He'll get a cross in surely into the box. Baptiste with a authoritative catch there as and Love and Stead were lurking.
Yep, good take from the keeper. What brilliant play from Ryan Glover, cutting in inside, switching the play out, goes out to Ben Coker with a good delivery, hung in the air. But good take from Baptiste to relieve pressure for his side.
And Kenlock has gone down with. Has he been caught there?
I didn't see. It looks like he's in a lot of pain. He's banging the floor.
He is just before the halfway line.
Maybe he was caught, and Dean Brennan is serenaded to the fourth official.
And players stopped here, and Kenlock is in some discomfort here.
Yeah, I don't know if it relates to his previous when he went down earlier, like 10 minutes ago.
Well, again, hopefully he's okay. He's been an absolute rock at the back and ever present for this Barnet side.
Yeah. Another opportunity to get a drinks break for the third time.
It didn't look, so we just looked on the replay, it doesn't look like Kenlock was really caught. I think he just fell awkwardly.
Yeah, landed awkwardly, it seems, yeah.
Yeah, there was no one. I've just looked back at it. The closest player to him was Obiero, and he didn't touch him. So Kenlock has gone down with an awkward fall.
Awkward landing, yeah.
Felt a bit of that today. Barnet players getting their legs tangled and
Glover
losing their balance.
Just we'll talk so much about this pitch.
So it's yet another goal for Adi Aluwo, his fourth of the season. Got one against Sutton, York, Oldham away.
Yeah.
And another big one today. He only crops up with the big ones. Yeah. Remember him scoring a late winner against Southend here.
Big game player.
Scored against Boreham Wood away in one of our first ever victories against them. Definite big game player, Adi Aluwo. And a towering figure in that back line. And one of quite a few centre-backs that can do the job. Nick Tavares, of course, on the bench today, picking up a bit of a knock against Braintree. Didn't have his best game, did Tavares, last time out, which is rare because he's so high quality.
Yeah, Nick the Brick, always solid. But and made a substitution. Right.
Yeah, Jerome Akimo has just come on.
So seems like that Kenlock injury was fairly serious if he's had to be forced off, because like you said, he hasn't been injured the whole season. And the commentator's curse, he's gone off injured. Hopefully he's alright though.
Shelton fouled inside the centre circle, and the substitution will now officially be made. Maybe I think they jumped the gun with the
graphic, yep.
Yeah, with the graphic. Yeah, it is Jerome Akimo, who is a player coach at Barnet more than he is a player.
Wow.
In fact, he's more of a coach than a player, full stop. He came on for a cameo against Altrincham in the last minute and made a really good headed clearance. So the veteran is back.
Yeah, he will play a lot of important minutes because he's going to play a whole second half.
Well, this will be really interesting to see. Anyway, Glover gets one in with his left. Is it too long for Love? It is, and he can only head it out for a goal kick. But yeah, really interesting one. Jerome Akimo, he's barely played this season at all. Sort of transitioning into the management department, into the coaching staff. So,
which probably thinks that Nick Tavares is still carrying that knock, because you believe he would have been the first one to come off the bench.
I think it's more about him being a left footer.
Yeah. True.
Great back heel from Love towards Coco, who's bombing down the left-hand side in towards the middle, but Baptiste is too close to him, and he catches that fairly easily. 40 minutes gone. Barnet 1, Wealdstone 0. Hasn't been a classic so far, but Bees are currently getting the job done. And remember, if they are to win today, depending on if York win against Aldershot, which you would fancy them to do.
Yep, at home, yeah.
It means that if they were to beat Gateshead in the early kick-off next week, then it would go to Sutton.
Sutton United, yeah.
But if they were to drop points against Gateshead, if they won today against Aldershot, then of course the Bees could lift the title by winning against Eastleigh. So permutations still yet to sort themselves out. Here's Shelton just on the edge of the D. Short pass into Brown, lays it off for Akimo. Now Shelton over to the left-hand side with Akimo, who gets one in. It's a poor one, and Wealdstone come away, although they can't get hold of it or make anything stick, and it's back with Evans. Here's Hartigan. Forward to Collins just on the halfway line. Infield to Hartigan again. Hartigan with a diagonal, but he gets that one wrong, and it's out for a Wealdstone throw. It was towards Coker, who applauds his teammates' effort, but you'd expect better usually from Anthony Hartigan.
Yeah, Anthony Hartigan never really gives the ball away that much. He's given away a couple of times today, but I'm sure just an off pass, it happens. Rarely for him, to be fair.
Well, what do Wealdstone do at this point? I mean, it is a free hit for them. They've got two important games against relegation rivals coming up.
Absolutely.
What do you do? Do you stick or twist? Do you try and get a result here?
I mean,
in a derby game and give your fans something to cheer about, or do you hold on? Reece Brown actually been pulled to the floor on the far side as he tackled Enzio Boldevine. And it's a free kick in exactly the same, almost exactly the same position as. We'll come back to the Wealdstone thing, but it's exactly the same position almost. And can lightning strike twice here?
We will see.
For Anthony Hartigan with a free kick for the Bees on that far side.
I'm sure Wealdstone, Adrian Marappa is definitely organising fans, telling them, listen, Adi Luro doesn't get a yard again. It'll be interesting to see what they do this time. Wealdstone anything differently. Because you know it's going to be a great delivery from Anthony Hartigan. We just know that.
Well, let's see if the Stones have learned their lesson here. It's Hartigan on that far side who's going to in-swing one here. Raises his hand. In from Hartigan, it's Aluo rising again, and it's Stead who finishes off, but it's a free kick awarded by the referee, and the celebrations are cut short. It was another dangerous delivery, and the referee has given a foul here in favour of Wealdstone. We'll just wait to see that one on the replay, because Gareth Rhodes was pretty confident and there weren't too many complaints.
Yeah, and to be fair, he blew the whistle just as Adi Lua headed the ball, so the Stones could argue that Callum said they wouldn't have scored because the ref did blow the whistle and they did stop play. But Anthony Hartigan, once again, spot on delivery, absolutely perfect.
Well, I've just seen that on the replay. It's a bit of a harsh one, in fairness. And Love has pushed over his man there, Kretschmar, who takes the free kick short, and here's Dyer.
Was it Lua who shoved someone?
It's difficult to tell.
He saw something, I guess.
Here's Mariappa for Wealdstone. Yeah, Luo wasn't happy about it. Stead late on the challenge there against Alex Dyer, just inside the Wealdstone half. Referee stops the play. It's been a bit of stop-start as well, hasn't it?
Yeah, a couple of niggly fouls.
Lots of niggly fouls. Game hasn't really flowed how it could. Here's Kretschmar. He's frustrated with his teammates not making runs. Mariappa tries one through to Dyer, and I'm afraid that was rather dire.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Wealdstone's final third pass has been really, really poor. I mean, they just can't get anything going, any offence going. Anytime they've had a transitional attack, played out of play, when they've had time on the ball, Mariappa just gives the ball away cheaply. When you get a side like Barnet, you can't be giving the ball away that easily.
Here's Collins picking up the loose ball on the halfway line. Tries one down the right flank for Stead, but too much on it. And passing's been a little bit off from the Bees as well, particularly from Danny Collins, who you would expect better from as well. Guy Barker says he's listening on the beach in Mauritius.
Wow. Wish I could join you.
Lucky man, Guy. I mean, it's lovely here, but I bet it's even better in Mauritius. Here's Kretschmar for Wealdstone. Just inside the centre circle. Here's Dyer. Tries one down the right flank. Not enough on it. Chested down by Coker. Here's Shelton. Brown plays it straight out of play, and that's really poor from the Bees.
Yellow card for Coker. Kicking the ball away.
That's so needless, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ben Coker makes the referee's notebook for a needless kick away. And it's a throw-in for Wealdstone on that far side. Referee has indicated 4 added minutes, of which we've played 1 in this first half. Long throw taken into the box. Where's it going to drop? It looks like it's going to be left for a goal kick, which it is. And it's back with Evans. Evans tries one quickly down the left flank towards Unlove. Unlove up against Woodman. Is he get the better of him? He has. Brilliant from Unlove. And it's Reece Brown who's picked up the loose ball here. Plays it over to the right with Danny Collins, urged to shoot. Is he going to go from long distance? No, he's not. He lays it off to Glover on the right. Glover gets one in towards the box. Punched away unconvincingly. Brown wins the header, but it's weak, and Baptiste holds that ball. But excellent work from Love, wasn't it?
Yeah, good work from Love. So strong in Lee Love. I mean, for anyone to get the better of him in terms of a strength contest, he's got to be strong, and he holds up well. The ball eventually lands to Ryan Glover. He puts in a good delivery in the box. Baptiste flaps at it, but eventually deals with it.
Well, Wealdstone have played their way out of trouble pretty well here, and here's Cisse for the Stones. Plays it out to the right-hand side. Back with Baldovine. Spreads the play to Mariappa. Infield to Dyer. Oh, and he's been caught in possession there, and Love lays it off to Shelton, but Shelton, where was the pace from Shelton there?
Like
he looked like he was running in treacle.
Yeah, running in quicksand or something like that. I mean, fair play to Dyer for recovering, but yeah, Mark Shelton.
You want Glover on that, really?
Yeah, Glover, steady.
It was great. It was a great win back. It was really loose play from Wealdstone there, and I think he played the right pass, didn't he? It was just
laid it off to him. He just couldn't get away. He doesn't have that breakaway pace.
But Shelton is a runner. You can only put it down to the fact that he's been out for quite a while and he's just not up to speed. But yeah, he was totally outpaced there. Brown hooks one down the left flank towards Love, who is chasing Dion Woodman. Woodman hooks it clear, and it's still in play. Just on that far side. Wealdstone still have it. Great work there from Obiero, and he's won a foul just on the halfway line on the far side as we tick over to half time. Just about 30 seconds left of that. Hackett Sloth is listening to us from Piacenza, shortly on our way to the San Siro wearing Barnet shirts.
Wow.
Brilliant.
Representing.
Brilliant stuff. Love to see it. Here come the Stones again. And it's Cisse. Lays it off to Dyer now. Dyer tries to go through the middle. Is he going to be crowded out? Plays it back to Cisse. Over to the right-hand side now with Kretschmar. Kretschmar gets one in towards the middle. Aluwo heads it clearly away. And it's fallen to Ben Coker now. Can he get it forward first time here? He maybe should have played it first time. Yeah. And that's poor from Coker down the left channel, because time is basically up, and he was better just getting it forward there, and Wealdstone win it back. Will the ref allow play to continue? He has.
It's a good run, this.
So yeah, it is a good run, and gets it over to the left-hand side with Randall. Is he going to reach it? No, it's overhit, and it sums up the lack of quality. And Gareth Rhodes blows the half-time whistle here. It's Barnet 1, Wealdstone 0, thanks to Adi Aluwa getting on the end of a brilliant Anthony Hardigan free kick, which really was the only moment of quality, the only moment of note that has happened in this first half. It's been a slight letdown, but at this stage of the season, as we always say, it's the result that matters.
Absolutely.
And as it stands, Barnet are in pole position to get another crucial 3 points after a slip up against Braintree. 1-0.
Yeah, like you said, all about the results, and good off from Dean Brennan. He'll be happy his side have got the goal, gone on 1-0 up. I mean, Neil Gibbs will be disappointed with his side in terms of their possession play, but still to play for in the second half. And like you said, an opportunity for Wilson to pick up a valuable point, but for Barnet, it's all about the 3 points and stepping closer and closer towards the league title.
Indeed. Well, as I say, half-time, Barnet 1, Wealdstone 0. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning into our coverage so far. Maybe the second half will be slightly more lively, but make sure you do stick with us to find cutting-edge reports of the game. Live coverage, of course, with myself, Rory Edwards, and Brian Matovu alongside me. And we will see you for the second half shortly. Welcome back to Hive Live's official coverage of Barnet versus Wealdstone, as we're about to get underway for the second half of football. It is Barnet 1, Wealdstone 0, courtesy of Adi Aluwo's header from an Anthony Hartigan special on the far side. It was some free kick, really, and we've watched the replay 5,000 times and we still can't really tell if it was going in already or not. We need a different angle, but nonetheless it was a fantastic free kick and a great bullet header which kind of hit the underside of the bar or the post and just went in. So whether or not he redirected it, we don't know.
Remains to be seen, but like you said, Anthony Hartigan, anytime he's got his hand on a dead ball or set piece, we just know that it's going to be quality, and he just shows it time and time and time again, and that's the difference. A bit of quality and Barnet in the front.
Well, we're underway. Wealdstone gets underway. Baptiste takes the ball long, and let's see if we can have a little bit more quality in this second half. It's been rather lacking, but there's still plenty to play for both sides. Barnet needing those 3 points to edge closer to the league title, and of course Wealdstone could do with the points as well in their relegation battle. It is again more of a free hit, but they can't throw points away.
No, when you get to this stage of the season where Wealdstone are on the table, no game is a free hit regardless of the position in the table. Of course, not many would expect them to win this game or get anything from it, but you just can't, like I said, you can't throw points away assuming you'll beat Maidenhead and Boston.
Brown throws it down the line to Coker after great work winning the ball off Boldevine. Here's Brown again, just on this near side. The Bees playing towards the Wealdstone fans in the second half. We don't usually see that.
No.
Usually the away team play towards their own fans in the second half. Here's Glover on the right-hand side. Tries to get one in. Doesn't beat the first man. Here's Shelton, though, still with the ball on that far side. Can he get across in? It takes a heavy nick, and it's out for a corner kick. 46 minutes gone, Barnet 1, Wealdstone 0. It's a corner to the Bees.
Interesting. Do you think maybe Dean Brennan thought if we win the toss, we don't want them shooting in front of their own fans because they brought a fair amount up? Or do you think Wealdstone switched it?
It could be, yeah, because sometimes there is the whole suck the ball into the net thing that happens.
See, Bees don't have one, but behind the goal.
Of course. So it will be Coker on the far side. Coker whips one into the middle. It's headed really well away there by Woodman, but it's come out to Shelton on the near side. Back to Akimo, who had to come on for the injured Miles Kenlock. I really hope, and I think all Barnet fans will hope that he's okay. He's been absolutely instrumental this season. Evans plays one down the right-hand side, and Brown was in a lot of space on that far side, and it was just too difficult for him to pluck out of the sky, and it's out for a Wealdstone throw-in in their own half. But great piece of distribution from Evans, who we know that he's got that in his locker.
Oh yeah, for sure. Him passing out the back, absolutely perfect. And in the modern game, your goalkeeper's going to need to be good with his feet, especially at the higher level. The higher you go, the more important it is. And Owen Evans, he is an EFL keeper, to be fair to him, so definitely got that in his locker.
Wealdstone come away with it, and the ball is played down the right-hand side. Is he going to get there? He is Hutchinson. Great turn of pace from him. He was busting a gut, and here's Hutchinson up against Coker on this near side. He gets one in towards the middle, and it's whipped away by Ryan Glover. Really important clearance, and the Bees can counter-attack here with Reece Brown, who's been caught late there by Alex Dyer, and the Bees fans want a yellow card here because it stopped the counter, but great piece of experience from Brown there, who knew exactly what he was doing to win that foul just inside their own half.
Yeah, absolutely. An important foul. Relieved the pressure for the Bees because that hop cross from Hutchinson was a really dangerous ball. Just flashed it across the goal, and luckily for the Bees, no one was there to touch home for Wealdstone. But yeah, brilliant hard off play from Reece Brown, winning the free kick, and allowing Barnet to recycle the ball and restart an attack.
They play it short, and it's back with Owen Evans now for the Bees. Plays it forward towards Anthony Hartigan, and here's Jerome Akimo. Back to him from Hartigan, and it's Akimo now down this left-hand side. Lays it off to Coker, who's put in one or two dangerous deliveries so far. Infield to Shelton. Shelton lays it off to Danny Collinge. Collinge might go from range. Here he does. It takes a deflection, and it's out for a corner. Wasn't the cleanest hit, but it took a heavy nick, and it's out for a corner on this near side, which Ben Coker threatens to take quickly, but Hartigan is jogging, and it looks like he's going to take an in-swinger. 2 hands out from Hardigan this time, which I wonder what that means. As he's about to take an in-swinger here on this near side. In it goes, headed away, only as far as Mark Shelton, and Shelton, who has scored some bangers for Barnet this season, including against Ebbsfleet from a similar position. Absolutely blazes that one into the away end, and it's a goal kick to Wealdstone. Baptiste goes long towards Reed, who's been crowded out by Akimo, and he just lets it run for Oluwo. He's a marvel, really, is Jerome Akimo, even at his age. Keeps himself in incredible condition.
Yeah, it's good to see.
And I think he's probably fitter than most 20-year-olds. Here comes Reese Brown through the middle. Great work from him. Still driving forward. Lays it off to the left-hand side with Coker. Coker cuts onto his right. Lays it off for Akimo. In towards Brown. Tries to feed Akimo again. That would have been an interesting one. Just talking about Akimo, he was almost through on goal. Reed tries to backheel it towards the on-rushing Obiero. But the Bees win it back with Ryan Glover. Forward to Hartigan. And Bees showing a little bit more quality at the moment.
Yeah, combination plays are starting to come across. That was a good play from Akimo, and Reese Brown just unlucky not to get it away.
Well,
but
just as I say that, a loose ball, and Dyer comes away with it, plays it to the left-hand side with Reed. He has Stead for company, turns back and plays it to Randall on the left. Dyer. And it's played all the way back to Baptiste, great pressure. And a Love, who hasn't really been in the game too much, chases it down. And Wealdstone play out from the back. Here's Cisse being chased down by Akimo, who is really high up the pitch. Stone still playing out from the back now. He's sort of letting them have the ball at the moment. It's Woodman looking for options, putting his hands out as if to say, where are you? Plays a good ball down the left-hand side towards Randall. Stead tries to chase up to him, and Randall cuts inside, plays it infield to Cisse. Hutchinson is calling for it, is in plenty of space, but he finds Boldevine instead. Lays it off to Hutchinson on this near side. Reese Brown goes in for the tackle, almost wins it, but Hutchinson continues with it, plays it infield to Dyer. Good spell of possession this for the Stones. Over to the left-hand side now with Randall up against Glover. Great work from Glover to win the ball back. Excellent defensive work. Cuts inside, just about gets it forward to Shelton, who moves it forward to Love, who was being dragged back, but actually Love was dragging back his man, Woodman. And it's a Wealdstone free kick just inside the Barnet half.
Wealdstone enjoying a little bit more possession, which will please Neil Gibson, getting their foot on the ball. As time is ticking away, they're just growing in confidence a little bit more, just need to have a little bit more of injection and a little bit more urgency in the final third and create some more opportunities. But good defensive shape from the Bees, not making it easy for the Stones at all.
Ball played forward towards Cisse. Heavy touch, but he gets away with it, and it's played forward towards Reed. Reed lays it off for Cisse, but it's too much for him, and it goes out of play for a Barnet throw in their own half. Akimo takes it quickly. Hartigan quickly heads it back to Oluwo, just about gets enough on it as the Stones were closing in, and Kretschmar has it now. And he's fouled by Stead, who is bemused with the ref, and it's another one of those borderline. Yeah. But the referee is erring on the side of strictness today, is Gareth Rhodes, and it's a free kick to Wealdstone inside the Bees half, and definite spell for the away side. Kretschmar has the ball.
Kretschmar's got 8 assists this season, so he's definitely got quality from these dead ball positions.
Kretschmar raises his hand. What can he do here on this near side? Gets it in towards the box. Brilliant delivery. Great save from Owen Evans. It was a comfortable height for him, but he had to be there, and he palms it away for a Wealdstone corner. But that, for half a second, looked really dangerous. Yeah, so
like I said, Kretschmar, good delivery, and I think he just eludes everyone, falls to Boldevine at the back post, and he gets a good strike on it. And like you said, it's a comfort save from Owen Evans, but he had to be allowed to parry away for a corner. But that's Wealdstone's first big chance in this game, and they're growing in confidence, like we were saying.
Yeah, it was a superb delivery from Kretschmar, and they've won a corner out of it as well on the far side. It'll be an in-swinging delivery towards the front post. It's a poor one, and Glover gets an emphatic header away towards Reese Brown. Can he get control of it? No. And the ball ricochets off and falls to Baptiste, the goalkeeper. Yeah, just looking at the replay, it was actually Boldevine who got hold of the shot. And it was a half-decent effort from him, a good connection on the half volley. And Evans did well to react, having had not much to do this game so far. And the Stone's growing into the game, and the game is becoming a little bit more competitive.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
which is what you'd expect for a derby.
Oh, for sure. And like you said, Wealdstone find the bottom of the league, 1-0 down. And like I said, in the last game, they did come from a goal down to beat Forest Green. So being one of them will not elude them or dent their confidence at all in the slightest.
Here come the Bees though, just inside the Wealdstone half on the near side with a Chemo. Plays it back with his left towards Hartigan. Hartigan slows the play down, looking for options. Goes back to a Chemo on the left-hand side. Got Cisse for company. Lays it off to Coker. Now back with the Chemo. Akimo takes on Cisse and gets the better of him actually. Plays it infield to Coker. It was great work from Jerome Akimo, who you wouldn't know has had a long period out of the first team.
He's played well. He's settled into the game pretty well. He's going to have to play a long time. Depending on Miles Kenlock's injury, he might be playing a lot more football.
Here's Shelton lining one up from range, and that was a really decent effort. It just swerved past the post, but Mark Shelton fancied that, and it was almost troubling the keeper, but just wide of the goal.
Yeah, that was a much better from Mark Shelton compared to his previous one that went high into the stands, and it opens up nicely for him. We know Mark Shelton, any range, he's always pretty good at it, and just unfortunately the contact just goes over the bar, but a really good connection, a really good effort from the Bees.
He's definitely got that in his proverbial locker. Akimo wins the long ball that Wealdstone play. Brown with an excellent sliding challenge to win the ball back against Cisse. Plays it infield to Callum Stead. Callum Stead driving forward, tries to find Love on the overlap, but his through ball was just a little bit too close to Woodman, who gets an excellent challenge in there. And Barnet come again now, just inside the Wealdstone half. Here's Collins. Game's livened up a little bit now. Forward to Brown, who's been pretty influential, the ex-Wealdstone player, although having said that, he's fouled Kretschmar, who is banging the floor in agony. It just looked like he caught him late there. And the ref has awarded a free kick.
And the yellow card, it looks like, as well.
Yeah, public enemy number one is Gareth Rhodes here at the Hive.
Yeah. To be fair, I think there was a guy who pulled back, fouled Stead or Brown on the counter-attack, in fact, and didn't get a yellow card. And Brown's unfortunate to go in the book there, but you just got to be a bit careful, because you know Brown is a guy who gets into challenges and never pulls out of anything. So just got to be a little bit careful now, him and Coker.
I think Brown's played well, but obviously managing his minutes, he rarely plays a full 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And I would not be surprised to see the likes of Harry Chapman and Zach Brunt. Now, Harry Chapman almost scored a goal of the season against Wealdstone up at their place in a 3-0 victory against Matt Taylor's side. He walked through the entire defence, left Jack Cook on his behind. But his finish just wasn't quite there, and the keeper made a good stop down to his left. But yeah, it was incredible from Chapman, showing the quality. So you wonder whether we might see a bit of Chapman today.
Absolutely, similar to what he did against Yeovil. Ran past 4 or 5 players, just the final finish wasn't there.
Well, Shelton is allowed to drive forward, which is dangerous, and here's Callum Stead, gets it over to the right with Glover taking on Randall just inside the penalty area on the far side. Dinks one in towards the back post, but there's far too much on it. Poor quality from Ryan Glover, who's usually so much better than that, and it's a goal kick to Wealdstone. 58 minutes played. Barnet 1, Wealdstone 0 here on Hive Live. Just a couple of minutes prior, Callum Stead played a poor through ball to Liam Love, who, if he'd got that right, and Love is the sort of player who can, take that on and score, but it was a really disappointing through ball from Callum Stead, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just a bit over here, and like I said, Liam Love, he loves playing at the Hive. This is his ground where he scores all his goals. So it's not the end that he scores, is it? He scores at the other end.
Yes,
the other end, to be fair, yeah, good point.
Long ball played up towards Reed. Aluwo takes no chances and heads it out for a Wealdstone throw-in, and that's giving the Wealdstone fans something to applaud and get encouraged about.
Yeah, gets them higher up the pitch. There's a good little knockdown. Sometimes it might just be a knockdown forward, ball goes out of play, and you can regroup in Barnet's final third, and Wealdstone got all their players in the Barnet's half, so it'll be another long throw from Boldevine, it looks like, so see if this causes any problems for the Bees.
It is Boldevine, and it comes from him, headed away easily by Coker, but Dyer nods it on towards the Wealdstone defender now. And here's Woodman. Back with Woodman again. And all the way back to Dante Baptiste. Oh, and he's chased down by Love as he feigned to go one way. And Love was chasing him down, and Baptiste just about gets away with it. And here's Boldevine driving inside. Powerful player he is. Stead couldn't keep up with him. Lays it off to Dyer and concedes a throw-in. It's a Wealdstone throw-in just around the halfway line on the far side.
Yeah, how many times have we seen at that end away goalkeepers making mistakes with the football? But fair play to Baptiste, he got away with
that's
it.
A brilliant run from Cisse, and he's through on goal. It's Cisse! Fantastic save, Owen Evans, one-on-one there. It's a crucial stop. Cisse should have done so much better, but the chance is still not over. And here's Hutchinson, dinks one in towards the back post. The header is saved again by Owen Evans, down to his left. Brilliant double save from him. And the Bees are at 6s and 7s at the moment defensively. Coker, has he won the free kick? He has, from Cisse, who should have done so much better with that one-on-one. Made a brilliant run and carved open the Barnet defence.
Yeah, honestly, his run, no one tracked his run. It's a brilliant pass. I don't know who played the pass, but it's a fantastic ball, and fair play to Owen Evans. Makes himself big, stands up, and he saves a brilliant from Callum Cisse. And then after that, it's a header. Again, it's a wonderful one-handed save from Owen Evans to parry away from danger, but that's a warning sign for the Bees. We did say that one goal was never... the game was never over, but yeah, it's a poor finish from Callum Cisse. He'll be disappointed not to put that away.
Yeah, you'd expect him definitely. He should have lifted it over the keeper, if anything.
Or he could have rounded the keeper. Maybe had too much time to think about it.
Superb goalkeeping from Owen Evans, who was been called into action. The referee's awarded yet another foul in favour of Wealdstone against Callum Stead inside the Wealdstone half. Ball is played early towards Dyer, but it's overhit, and Owen Evans will get there. And for big games, you need big game players, and Owen Evans. And if you want to be champions, if you want to win the league, you need to call on your big players.
Yeah, and those are the kind of saves you need to be making as well.
Yeah, he didn't go down too early, did Owen Evans? He stayed big.
Yeah.
And he just sort of bent down slightly, and it hit his midriff. It was a good piece of goalkeeping. Here comes Collins for Barnet on the right-hand side. Pulls it back, and it almost looked like it was going to fall for Stead, but it was just behind everyone. And Wealdstone can launch a counter. Great turn from Cisse now. And the game is certainly opening up now.
Yeah, it's a bit stretched now. There's a lot of space in the middle.
Defensively, the Bees will be really disappointed with that.
Yeah, Wealdstone are committing a lot of men forward. Cisse's getting forward. Randall's getting forward.
Randall has the ball now on that far side, taking on Glover, gets one in towards the box. Shelton with a really good touch and calmly lays it off to Ben Coker, who can launch one forward with his left towards Unlove. Can he hold it up? Lays it off brilliantly towards Reece Brown. Now it's 2 against 3 on this left-hand side, with Hutchinson coming back to help defend. Brown goes back to Shelton. Shelton now inside to Hartigan, and now Collins over on the far side with Glover. Now Collins back with Hartigan again. Glover again on the far side. Collins needs to wake up there, and he wanted too much time, and it was an easy interception there. Ball is played down the left channel towards Dyer. He's up against Akimo, and Akimo does fantastically well there, showing his experience. And now, oh my word, Owen Evans has done it again. He's chopped Alex Dyer. Where does he get his composure from? He's having a game to remember at the moment, is Owen Evans.
He takes risks, well, he gets away with one, and that's why he's
great touch from Coker on the left-hand side, plays it infield to Callum Stead, who's being urged forward by the Bees. Goes inside, still Callum Stead, plays it forward to Reece Brown with his back to goal. Tries to get it forward to Ryan Glover on that far side of the penalty area, but there was not enough on it, and the quality is just lacking in that final third for the Bees at the moment.
Yeah.
Now it's Wealdstone who come forward. End-to-end stuff here at the moment.
Yeah, definitely Brennan happy about the space in the middle. That's just seems that Wealdstone seems to be carving Barnet in the middle, and Cisse, Obiero just getting their foot on the ball, and Wealdstone are enjoying this little time possession here.
I would really not be surprised to see Dean Brennan line up a change or two very shortly. Here come Wealdstone now on the left-hand side. The ball in is really sloppy, well over here, and it's out for a goal kick. Waste for the Stones there.
Yeah. Then Barnet will take that, just let the game peter out of,
just take the sting out of it, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a bit of a basketball match at the moment.
It's been up and down.
But neither side have been able to find the quality in the final third. Aluwo's goal is the only thing that separates them in the first half after an Anthony Hardigan brilliant free kick. Poor touch from Unlove there, and Cisse wins it back inside his own half.
Yeah, really poor touch that.
But the Bees win it back in the middle of the park, and here's Danny Collins driving forward now for the Bees. Plays it square to Reece Brown, who can't quite get hold of the ball, but he's done really well to carry on with it. And still Brown leaves it for Stead. He's got Shelton and acres of space, and he could have found him on the right hand side. Shelton is bemused with his teammate as to why he didn't find him. Stead only had eyes for goal, went for the effort, it took a deflection, it's out for a Barnet corner on this near side.
Yeah, Shelton and Glover, they were there for like a good minute. Brown couldn't find him, then it fell to Stead. All we had to do was play it to them, but Callum Stead, the man banging form, I don't blame him for taking the effort on.
He didn't look up really, did he?
Nah, not at all. He looked at the goal.
If he had, he could have slotted in. Certainly Shelton was in for the best opportunity there. But it is a consolatory corner that Anthony Hardigan will take on this near side. Can he get the delivery akin to his free kick in the first half? If he can, Wealdstone are in trouble. And it goes from Hartigan. Baptiste decides to punch it away. It's come out to Mark Shelton, lays it off for Coker. Hartigan's in acres of space on the near side. He gets it over to Hartigan, back in field to Coker. Should have probably whipped it in first time, and they've slowed it down here. But it's Coker. It's Glover now. Glover trying to find a yard of space to make the shot. Still Glover lays it off to Callum Stead. Callum Stead dinks one in towards the middle, and Brown hits the post. Barnet still come. Here's Hartigan, so close that was. Back with Coker on this left-hand side. Now Shelton. All inside the Wealdstone half. Collins back to Hartigan. Lays it off to Collins. But he's just taking their time to rebuild this attack. Just looking back on the replay, Stead had Collins in acres of space. He could have pulled back.
I don't think he hit the post. I think it just comes off borderline on the line, to be fair.
Yeah, whatever it was messy.
Yeah, very messy.
But it narrowly evaded the back of the net. And the Bees retain possession here, but Wealdstone do well to force them backwards, and Hartigan has to go all the way back to Owen Evans. 66.5 minutes played, Barnet 1, Wealdstone 0. Ball played down the right channel, but it's Max Kretschmar who wins that. Plays it infield to Dyer. He's loose in possession. Collins, Hartigan wins it back. Brilliant from the Bees there, but the ball forward is dinked towards Callum Stead. It's over his head, and the ball is played back to Baptiste. Gets it forward first time with his left. It's a good ball in the end towards Cisse. Good touch, and he just about gets there in front of Reece Brown. Now can Wealdstone launch an attack here? Lays it off, it's too short. And Brown tries to win a throw in off Hutchinson, but it's gone out for a Wealdstone throw in halfway inside the Bees half. And here comes the first change of the game. And it's going to be Callum Stead, I think, that's coming off here.
Yep.
And Zach Brunt is going to take his place. Callum Stead, he hasn't had the best of games so far.
Yes,
and that is the end of his afternoon.
Yeah, seems disappointed to come off Callum Stead. Yeah, like I said, not his finest game. Maybe Dean Brennan saw him not pass and thought, you know what, have an early shower today.
Yeah, if he had looked up, he could have found Shelton in a huge amount of space, but alas, he went for the selfish option, and that seals his fate. And Zach Brunt has been brought on here. Now, Brunt did start the game against Braintree, but he didn't quite manage to get into it. It wasn't really the game for him. The ball from Woodman towards the left-hand side was poor, and it's out for a Barnet throw-in inside their own half. Glover takes it quickly, doesn't do a foul throw this time, as he did in the first half.
Yeah, he learned his lesson. I'm sure he was told at half-time.
Yeah, that's probably a fine, if anything.
Oh, for sure.
Collins driving forward just on that far side now. Quick interchange, and he manages to win a throw smartly there inside the Wealdstone. Oh, the linesman's changed his mind. He originally gave a Barnet throw.
Yeah, I think the ball initially went out before the Collins kicked it back off him.
Definitely seemed to flag for a Barnet throw there.
Yeah, he did, to be fair.
Make up your minds. Brunt hooks it forward, high up into the air, and Love, can he win the ball with his strength? He almost does, and he actually wins a foul. And ironic cheers from the Barnet fans who feel that they've had nothing from the referee this game. But brilliant strength and power from Love, which just shows what was missing really against Braintree last week.
Yeah, just that sense of urgency. But yeah, brilliant play there.
So the referee has awarded Barnet a free kick about 40 yards from goal, just on the right hand side. Anthony Hartigan is complaining about something. I don't think he thinks the one-man wall is sufficiently further back. He's already put a brilliant delivery in the first half that set up the opening goal. What can he do this time? In it comes from Hartigan. Aluo again! And he got contact on it with his right foot, but he could only put it across the face of goal. It was rescued by Glover, who's won a throw-in on that far side. But Hartigan and Aluo linking up again. Yeah,
absolutely. It's a fantastic delivery, and Aluo just can't direct his effort towards goal, and unfortunately goes out. But Barnet do have a throw-in. I think you're right about Harry Chapman coming on. It looks like he's about to be brought on the pitch next time the ball goes out of play.
Diagonal play towards Coker. Is that too heavy for him to get? Yes, it is, and is out of play. A waste of possession there, and Wealdstone win a throw-in. Well inside their own half on this near side. It's Boldevine who has it in his hands. Throws it down the right flank. Coker gets something on the header. Brown, has he won a throw-in for the Bees? Yes, he has. And again, ironic cheers, because that could have gone either way. And here is Harry Chapman. And it's actually Liam Love who's coming off here. He hasn't really been able to impact the game as much as he usually does. He is coming back from injury, so hopefully he's okay. And he's being pushed off the field by Adrian Mariappa. But he's still getting a standing ovation from the B Army here. He's shown his power and strength, even if he hasn't been able to influence the game as directly as he'd like. And it is Harry Chapman, who terrorised the Stones up at Grosvenor Vale, who's going to get a run out here. And it looks like maybe Reece Brown is going to occupy that centre-forward role.
Maybe like a false nine sort of role, potentially.
Well, he's having to walk around the away end is Liam Love, and he's getting it from the Wealdstone fans as he does. And he's interacting with them as well, pointing to the badge. And that's aroused a brilliant response from the Bees fans. He's cupped his ears as well, Hassan Love, winding up the Wealdstone fans. And just as Lisby did against Barnet last week, and Love is doing the same. Here's Glover on that far side for the Bees. Collins is in loads of space if he could have found him with a first-time ball, but he doesn't. He checks back to Brunt. Brunt infield to Hartigan, and is back with Glover now on the right-hand side. Can the Bees find a second goal that would probably kill the game off? While it is 1-0, we saw the danger that Wealdstone posed. They were through on goal. The biggest chance of the game so far.
Yeah, definitely. And the longer the game goes on, the more memories we'll think of last season. 1-0 up, last few minutes, and then bang.
Yeah, so, the Josh Keeley star jump, when he jumped over the ball in about the 8th minute of added on time and caused absolute chaos here at the Hive. Here's Hartigan, great work from him, coming forward, looking for options on the right hand side, gets it towards Brown, just inside the penalty area, lays it off, dinked in by Hartigan, but it was so poor and close to Baptiste, and he holds on to that really easily. Brown might have been better going for an effort there on goal, but he laid it off to Hartigan, who just sort of lobbed it straight into the hands of Baptiste.
I don't know what Hartigan tried to do. It was like a cross kind of lob kind of shot. It's a bit confusing. Yeah,
he just didn't get enough conviction on it at all. 73.5 minutes gone. Barnet 1, Wealdstone 0. It's a slender lead in this local derby. Poor ball over to Hutchinson, and it goes straight out of play for a Barnet throw-in on the near side, well inside their own half. As it stands, the earliest the Bees can win it is at home to Eastleigh. It all depends on what York do later this evening against Aldershot. And of course against Gateshead as well.
Yep. Barnet keeping their side of the bargain,
which is all they can do. Hartigan hoofs it up into the air, into the Wealdstone box. Mariappa gets it clear. Brunt picks up the loose ball and gets it over to Chapman. Here's his first involvement. Great feat from him. That's exactly what he did at Grosvenor Vale. Flashbacks. And here's Ryan Glover. Back to Chapman again, just on the edge of the penalty area. Tries to find Brunt, but he's handballed it. It was actually quite a sloppy ball from Chapman into Brunt. And Wealdstone are now going to make a change of their own here. Or two changes. Max Kretschmar is coming off, and Harrison Sona is coming on for the Stones. The 22-year-old on loan from Cheltenham Town. So similar to Owen Evans in that respect.
Yep.
He scored a couple of goals for Stones this season. And Mustafa Carriol is coming on. And Will Randall has been taken off. Mustafa Carriol, the 36-year-old Gambian winger.
Very experienced Mustafa Carriol.
Certainly is. He's played the likes of Middlesbrough, Brighton, Huddersfield, Leeds, Ipswich.
Yep.
He's got quite the track record, and he's dropped down to Wealdstone in the latter part of his career, in the twilight of his career.
Yeah, loves the game.
So you've got 36-year-old Adrian Mariappa, and you've got 36-year-old Gambian winger as well. Here come the Bees down the far side with Ryan Glover. And Glover's gone down here, stretching his calves, and is Collins going to put the ball out of play?
Still playing on, it seems. Maybe Dean Brennan said to put it up. No.
And he does put it out of play, and the Wealdstone management are pretty unhappy about that for whatever reason.
Yeah, I think they're thinking it's your own player, you best kick it out. We're not going to kick it out if we get the ball. Probably what he was saying. But yeah, hopefully Glover's all right. A couple of injuries in this game so far, actually, which is...
Yeah, Miles Kenlock, of course, had to go off in the first half.
Yeah.
Really not nice to see. Such a ever-present player for the Bees, so important in this cog. Such an important cog in this machine. And Glover is down receiving some treatment, and Barnet can regroup.
Found a few instructions.
Best case scenario, it's just a ploy for Dean Brennan to...
Yeah.
Although you'd expect Owen Evans to do that.
Yeah,
if that was the case, normally
does it, yeah.
Maybe if Owen Evans does that every game,
yeah, it's too obvious.
It becomes a little bit too transparent.
But to be fair, the Bees were in attack, so I don't think it was intended at the time.
Yeah, Darryl Levine, he's another Hive Live regular. Levine, come on Barnet, don't make me nervous in Chicago.
Wow.
Yeah, so global reach here at Hive Live, of course, and DAZN.
Number 4 for Islanders, number 5 Alex Dyer being replaced by number 27 Josh Grant.
Yeah, well, Alex Dyer's coming off, and Josh Grant is coming on for him.
So the Stones definitely going for it. Neil Gibson could smell an opportunity for them to steal a point here at the Hive.
Josh Grant is a decent player, 83 appearances for Bristol Rovers in League One under manager Joey Barton. Struggled with injury, had knee surgery, limited playing time for the club over a 4-year period, but he has scored 3 goals for the Stones in 18 appearances, so one to look out for. Aluwo plays it back to Owen Evans, being chased down by Dyer, who hasn't really had much to do. He hasn't really had much service, has he?
No, Alex Reid.
Reid.
Haven't barely mentioned his names, hasn't really had money touches the ball. The opportunity Cisse got, I'm sure he would have loved to have had that opportunity.
Well, that's what I was thinking. A striker in form like that.
Yeah.
It fell to the wrong player, really. Well, it's Dom Telford who's going to come on here, and Ryan Glover is not able to continue here. Again, let's hope he's okay, because they seem to be dropping like flies towards the end of the season.
Gone to a back 4 now for the Bees. Colin Jaluo, Hakimo and Coca. I bet nobody would have thought this lineup would have been the back four at the start of the season, but it's closing out this game.
Well, you need your whole squad. Well, that's loose from Akimo. He almost lost it out to Cisse. It's back with Evans, who hoofs it clear, headed forward by the Stones. Aluo wins that header. Brunt rises for it against Grant, but it's over to Hutchinson on this right-hand side. Hutchinson gets one in towards the middle. Aluo gets an important touch on it. Akimo heads it, and it's fallen for Chapman. Gets it back to Gogo, who clears it first time. Boldevine wins the ball. Here's Boldevine. Hutchinson wants it with Boldevine. He's come away with it, and he's got an opportunity to get the cross in here on this near side. In it goes. Collins misses the header, just about gets something on it, and the shot comes in, and it's a goal! Wealdstone have equalised!
Substitution.
It's drilled into the bottom corner, and Owen Evans has been beaten. And on 80 minutes, it's game on.
I did say that Neil Gibson was going for it. I mentioned that they're throwing all their substitutions on. They can find a way to steal a point. And it's Harrison Sona, to be fair, it's a fantastic finish with his left foot, drills it into the bottom corner. But it starts from Boldevine, a brilliant play on the right-hand side. He had all the time in the world to get across in the box. It was danger. The Beast couldn't clear, and it falls to Sona, and it's a good strike, and it lands into the bottom corner, and no chance for Owen Evans there. There's still time for Barnet to obviously get a winner, but that will be disappointing, and
that has certainly lit the touch paper of this game, which felt subdued for so long. Hutchinson fouls Chapman as he tries to win the ball back just on the halfway line. He's bemused by that one, and to be fair to Wealdstone, they haven't given up. They haven't rolled over. They're a team in good form with high confidence, and Neil Gibson's side are level here. Great finish as well. Really
good finish from Sona. It falls to him. He just gets the perfect contact on it. I moved that close range. Good finish.
Well, what are the Bees made of here? Played forward towards Brown. Brown, he's got a chance here. It's Brown. He's hit the side netting. Huge opportunity to regain the lead there for Brown as the defender slipped. He had so much space, but he hit the side netting. Should have gone for the far corner.
Yeah.
What an opportunity for Brown to punish his former side.
Fantastic opportunity for the Bees there. Reece Brown does well. He rolls his defenders all the time in the world. I wonder if he could have just picked out someone in the box, maybe a Dom Telford if he was open, but you've got to hit the target when you're that close, and with that opportunity there. Seeing it back again. Yeah, Shelton's asking for the pullback, but Brown only had asked for goal, and it's a big opportunity missed for the Bees.
Well, the atmosphere has just gone up a notch here, and suddenly there are nerves around the ground. Here comes Harry Chapman down this near side, driving forward into the penalty area. Gets one in with his left, it's well over hit, and it's towards nobody. And there's another player for Barnet that has gone down with an injury. It's Ben Coker. And the players are dropping like flies at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened today, but
dear oh dear, what is going on here? Barnet have decided to play on here as they've got the ball on the far corner.
Do you think they've realised?
Coker is still flat on his back on the near side. And they concede a throw on the far side. And the physio is finally called. Ben Coker is probably going to have to go off here, to be honest.
Yeah, I think
and it's all happening at the same time. They say when it rains, it pours.
Absolutely. First, you see Kenlock go off, then Glover goes off, and now it looks like Ben Coker's not going to be able to finish this game, which is not ideal for Dean Brennan, you know.
Who do you put in his position now?
Yeah, you've got 2 games over the Easter weekend next week, so you're going to need players.
Who do you put at left back?
Tavares. I think Tavares is going to have to come on. He's the only real defender on the bench left. You can't.
Well, he has to. Maybe he puts Glover at left back and he moves.
Yeah, I think Tavares
some things around.
Yeah, you're going to have to move things around because Barnet have gone to a back 4, like you said. They've changed to a back 4. And now Coker's gone down, so yeah, maybe it'll be interesting to see what happens now. But
might be a chunk of injury. You would think there'd be a chunk of injury time now.
Absolutely.
There was plenty of injury time in the last time these two sides met, which ended with the same scoreline that it is now. Barnet 1, Wealdstone 1. And history is repeating itself here because it's they're proving a right bogey side, and there's a bit of a party atmosphere in the away end at the moment, and the Bees fans have gone completely silent.
Yeah, we did say as long as it stays 1-0, they're going to believe, and like you said, lightning has struck twice. Unfortunately for Barnet, it's in a negative side in terms of a fairly late goal list for Wealdstone again, and could you say it was coming? It wasn't really coming. They were just always hanging about, and that's what you have to do in these type of games. You just hang about, opportunity comes, and fair play to Harrison Sona. He took it really, really well. Finds the bottom corner with a good strike. Collins couldn't clear it, could he? It's a good hit. Oh, maybe when Everson, I think he could have got down a bit quicker.
It was Danny Collins didn't cover himself in glory for Wealdstone's equaliser. He missed the first header, got a poor clearance out, only as far as Sona, who hit it first time with his left and just caught Owen Evans off guard. And it was a really good finish, to be fair.
It was. It wasn't in the corner, but
well, the game hasn't really found any momentum since, apart from Reece Brown had a massive opportunity, and you've got to take your chances. Coker has come off for Tavares now, and it's a real makeshift back line now.
Yeah. You said the last one was a makeshift. This is even more makeshift. Akimo at left back, you have Oluwo, Tavares in the centre backs, and obviously Danny Collins at right back. So not the ideal defence that Brennan would want, but one that's got to close like this last 10 or so minutes, including at the time left.
Well, York fans must be watching this thinking, why are you doing this to us? You're giving us hope now that we might actually be able to do it. And of course, they play Aldershot later. This will just give them impetus. York have got nothing to lose now by just going for it. If it stays like this, remember, if it stays like this, if York win the next 2 games, they play twice before Barnet play again. They could be just 2 or 3 points behind Barnet come the Eastleigh game, and suddenly out of nowhere there's pressure on it.
Last week Barnet started 11 points clear. Less than 2 weeks later they could be just 3 points. Wow. But still time for Barnet to get the winner, and hopefully they can find it.
Well, there's almost 86 minutes played here. It's Barnet 1, Wealdstone 1. Harrison Sona, the substitute, with the equaliser. Oluwo with the goal in the first half. And the Bees just haven't quite been on song. Telford in towards Reece Brown. Great trap from him. Lays it off to Shelton. He just can't find a way through. The ball is played forward quickly. Oluwo deals with it. Up against Dyer. Needs to be strong here. Brilliant defending from Oluwo, who, in fairness, has probably been contender for man of the match.
Yeah, he's played really well. Against Alex Reid, he's been banging form. He's kept him quiet the whole game. He's started sniffing this game.
And Owen Evans plays a really risky ball out there first time, but it's just enough on it. And Chapman finds Jerome Akimo. Is he going to get there, though? It's too much for the veteran defender to get onto, and it's a goal kick to Wealdstone. Well.
Just didn't have the legs to catch onto it. It was a decent pass from Chapman, a little bit overhit, but maybe a Ken Lott gets on top of that, or a Ben Coker potentially.
Nervy times here now for the Bees. Really good attendance here today. Good crowd, good atmosphere, but it's Wealdstone in the ascendancy, really. Can Barnet find that all-important goal? Played down the left channel. Baptiste decides to take no chances and head that ball out of play for a throw-in. There's plenty of attacking talent on this pitch. Telford, Chapman, Brown, Brunt, Shelton as well.
Hartigan's deliveries.
There are goal scorers on this pitch.
Yeah, there's match winners there.
Can they find that moment of magic?
You're thinking, is this a game where you want, not a game, but a moment where you want someone like Stead or and Love? Well, for these last few moments.
And Love, you would have to think, is just not fit. There's no other reason to take him off. Here's Collins on the right-hand side, plays it infield. It's Brown! Hits one first time with his left. It took a deflection. It's a corner. Baptiste was rooted to the spot. And from here, it just for a half a second looked like it might nestle in the bottom corner, or the top corner.
Yeah, right the wrong angle, where it looks like anything that goes close to the goal looks like it's going in, but deflected away. But Barnet have found a new life, and he's got urgency to win this game.
Well, it's a Hartigan corner on this near side. What can he do here? It's Hartigan's delivery. Baptiste decides to punch it clear. It's way too close to him. Hartigan will come and rescue this one. Gets Chapman and Hartigan getting each other's way. Lays it off to Chapman. Not enough on it. Chapman and Hartigan play an exchange, and Hutchinson concedes a corner, and it's a Barnet corner. 88 and a half minutes gone. Should be a fair chunk of added time, you would think.
Oh, you'd like to think so. At least around 5+ at least, given the injuries.
And we're going to need a Dagenham type situation here.
Yeah.
And Love is not on the pitch this time, so it's going to have to come from someone else. But it's a corner in the meantime. Hartigan whips one in, headed away by Grant, I think it was. Chapman, brilliant header back towards Hartigan, just on the edge of the penalty area. Short towards Tavares, great feet from Tavares, but just can't get through. It's an excellent challenge in the end. But it's back with Hartigan on this near side. Plays it crossfield towards Brunt. Can Brunt get a delivery in here? No, he's not got enough space, but he lays it off to Collins on the right-hand side. Here's Collins. Suddenly it's all anxious now, and here's Reece Brown. Collins pulls it back. Tavares just can't get enough space for the shot. It was well blocked, and it's out for a Barnet throw-in on the far side. So close yet so far. Brunt takes the throw-in quickly. Has Collins kept it on? No, he hasn't. And
it's given a handball.
It's a handball anyway. And as we tick down to the 90th minute, it's still Barnet 1, Wealdstone 1, and it's a free kick to the Stones in their own half.
Yeah, it was a really good approach play from the Bees. They worked it really well. Found Nick Tavares, but you got to give credit to Wealdstone. They got out quickly, made sure that any shot could not come through. You just see the added time.
6 minutes added time. I think there's a case for it to be more.
Yeah, we would have thought it would have been a bit more.
To be honest, but there's 6 minutes for Barnet, because if they fail to win today, once again, I'm afraid to report that if York win both their matches before Barnet play Eastleigh, they will be just 3 points behind the Bees.
Wow. With 2 games to go.
With 2 games to go, so it's suddenly from nowhere. What was a seemingly unassailable lead at the top is going to be cut down. Brunt with a really heavy touch. Has he even wrestled to the floor? No, Grant was just too strong for Brunt there. And Wealdstone come forward. Aluwo with a heavy touch, needs to be really careful here.
Well played.
Just about gets away with that one, Aluwo. It's been his sort of game. Collins goes back to Evans now. Evans will have to launch this forward first time. And it's drilled towards Chapman, who's got some space in the middle. Chapman needs to drive forward now, just past the halfway line. Lays it off to Shelton. Shelton gets it out wide to Reece Brown on the far side. Still Brown, just inside the penalty area. Tries to get one first time into Brunt, but it wasn't close enough to him, and it's hooked away. Collins will rescue it on the right-hand side. All inside the Wealdstone half. Can the Bees find a dramatic winner here? Here's Shelton. Tavares, who's been forced on. Brunt over to the left with Akimo. Now Chapman. Akimo continues his run, but Chapman comes inside. Still Chapman. Great feet. Chapman gets the shot away, but it was too close to the middle of the goal, and Baptiste holds onto it at the second time of asking.
Yeah, good approach play from Chapman. Just driving. Tries to get that yard, but I think he's just stretching towards it, and that's why he couldn't get enough power on the shot. But I think B's just got to find the ball to Chapman, find it to Brown. Those are the real creative players who can ignite just a bit of magic to win this game, because like you said, we need a Liam Love or a Zach Brunt moment against Forest Green.
Brown tries to win the ball on this, and has a brilliant work from Brown up against Hutchinson, who gets a crucial slide challenge. Brown takes the throw in quickly. Chapman with a bit of a loose touch, but gets it back to Akimo now. Here's Hartigan. 4 minutes of added time yet left to play. Still Chapman. Akimo jogs to make an option on the left-hand side. Hartigan plays infield to Aluwo. Every Bees player inside the Wealdstone half now. They need to throw everything at this. Tavares goes all the way back to Evans. Time ticking away here. With just 3.5 minutes to go. Aluwo over to the left with Akimo. Bit of a heavy touch from him. Gets away with it though. Still Akimo. Great footwork from Akimo. Can he get the crossing with his left? It's in towards the back post. Can Collins keep it on? No, he can't. He tries to head it back in, and that's a poor ball in the end from Akimo. And it's out for a Wealdstone goal kick.
Just frustrating for the Bees fans, because you know Wealdstone are going to take at least 30 seconds to get the game restarted again, and a player of theirs has gone down.
Yeah.
Which will, you know, add to the frustration of Bees fans more and more.
Well, 25 games unbeaten came to an end last week against Braintree Town, and well, unfortunately, often when a massive run like that comes to an end, it is a bit like after the Lord Mayor's show, you know, it's difficult to pick yourself back up again, and at the moment the Bees are not going to be picking up 3 points here.
Yeah, you'd like to think a derby game, that's the perfect game you'd want, a big game against a local rival. in front of your home fans.
Tavares with a brilliant header towards Harry Chapman, who hooks it over to Dom Telford, who is busting an absolute gut to try and keep this in, but he can't do it. It's over here, and Boldewijn wins the throw-in.
He's had a good game, Boldewijn. Came close, forced Owen Evans into a good save, and obviously it was his cross that led to the Wealdstone equaliser.
And Wealdstone are going to make another change here, just to waste a little bit more time. It's your mate who's coming on, I believe.
Yep, Toby Omale.
Mariappa's coming off. Tell us a bit about this guy.
Toby Omale plays defender, can also play in midfield as well, but I think he'll be coming on to play centre back. Was at Arsenal when he was young, was at Tottenham as well. Went to Crawley Town, had a little spell there, didn't manage to get a lot of game time due to injury, but he's coming to Wealdstone now. He's got ability on the ball. He's a tall guy, strong guy. You only see it for 2 minutes, but astute player.
Well, let's hope your friend makes a mistake just for today. Throw-in taken up the line and is headed out by Shelton for a Wealdstone throw-in right on the halfway line. As precious seconds get eaten up here. Just a minute and 10 seconds of official time to go. And we're then at the mercy of the referee as to how much he's added on for these substitutes. Aluwo heads it forward. Josh Grant heads it back into the mix. Shelton heads it forward towards Telford. Can he get the header up into the air? He can. Brown wins it. Oh, he's been... It's a push in the back, says the referee, and it's a Wealdstone free kick inside their own half. Just 40 seconds to go.
Yeah, this game's petering out now. I think we'll be going to have to win the ball very quickly if they're going to have any chance of getting an attack on. But,
well,
bonus point for the Stones, to be fair to them.
There's a chance now that this season is going to go down to the wire.
Yeah, I mean, looks like it.
Baptiste puts the ball straight out of play on the left-hand side, and Collins needs to take this throw in quickly, which he does to Hartigan inside their own half. Collins back towards Aluwo. Aluwo has Akimo as an option, who he finds on the left-hand side now. This may well be the last attack for the Bees. Akimo with a really loose ball forward, and Stones just play it up the right channel to try and waste more time. Aluwo's going to have to come and collect this, and we're past the 6 minutes of added on time. How much more is the ref adding on here? Evans has the ball, plays it over to Tavares. Inside to Hartigan. Is there one final chance in this game for the Bees? Hartigan plays a slow ball out to Brunt. This has got to be it now. Zach Brunt over to the left-hand side with Jerome Akimo. Back to Brunt. Got to be more urgency. It plays it infield towards Telford. He's been dragged down. And Wealdstone win a throw-in deep inside their own half on this near side. There was a very, very half-hearted claim for a penalty as Telford was dragged down in the penalty area, but nothing at all given. And I think once he takes this throw-in, the referee is going to call time. In comes the throw-in. It's come all the way to Brunt. Brunt plays it forward towards Telford. Still the referee doesn't call time. Now he does. And it's the Wealdstone fans who are cheering that like they would a win. And it's finished here. Barnet 1, Wealdstone 1. A late equaliser from substitute Harrison Sona. A good finish into the bottom corner. The Bees unable to capitalise on their chances. And a great effort from Neil Gibson's men on Derby Day. Stops Barnet's title charge in its tracks. Last week's loss against Braintree looks a little bit more of a slip-up now. And another banana skin has been slipped on against local rivals Wealdstone. It's the same result that it was last season. Barnet 1, Wealdstone 1. Brennan is coming over to applaud the fans. Several players for Barnet went off injured. Ben Coker, Ryan Glover, Miles Kenlock. Liam Love couldn't even finish the game. So you do worry slightly about that. But a really, really disappointing result. And I'm afraid it's 1 point from their last two for the Bees. And if York are to pick up maximum points from their next two games, things might be looking a little bit too close for comfort.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got to agree with everything you said. I think that disappointing. Barnet at home against a local rival. You would have thought that given last week's result, losing to Braintree, they would have put on a performance today. Like Dean Brennan said, the standard wasn't the standard last week. This week was slightly better, but I think they'll be disappointed not to pick up 3 points. Wealdstone, fair play to them. They hung about, they never gave up. They just hung about. When the opportunity came, they did take it. But this is going to inject a life into the fans of York City. We're seeing this result, knowing that, like you said, they win both their games. But they're going to the game against Eastleigh live on the zone. Just 3 points in front of them. The other game in hand, of course, given that they would have played Eastleigh, but just adds a little bit more pressure onto it. They're still in a very good position. Like Connor Smith said, they would have taken this position, would have slashed their hand off to be in this position at the start of the season. But now isn't the time for Bees fans to panic. But the side seems to be lagging towards that league title rather than running towards it. And we don't want York to have any momentum going into those final 2 games. But it's not a loss. The home record still continues being unbeaten in. It's at 22 league games now. 21 league, 2 league games unbeaten. But it's disappointing. Bees 1, Wealdstone 1.
Yeah, it was a game that sort of lacked quality as well for the most part. The Bees had a couple of really good chances. And I have to say that Reece Brown should have scored.
Yeah, big chance.
Just after Wealdstone's equaliser, that was the biggest chance that Barnet had after that. They weren't able to create anything after that. And it's a real deflating result. And you can see that even though the Barnet fans have done their best and are still applauding the side who are applauding them back, there is just this sense now that things are going to be a lot closer than they would have liked. So York play Aldershot later, and I think there'll be a few more keen eyes on that one. And of course York play Gateshead away before Barnet play Eastleigh at home on Good Friday in the 12:30 kickoff. So we await to see what the permutations are come 5 o'clock this evening. Still, thank you very much everyone for joining our coverage on Hive Live. We will now record our customary post-match podcast, dissect, discuss the game and release it as soon as we can. But once again, thanks very much. Wherever you are, wherever you've been listening or watching, thank you very much for choosing Hive Live. I've been Rory Edwards, alongside me Brian Matovu, and we'll be back for the post-match podcast. Look out for that on the Barnet Football Club YouTube channel. Make sure you follow us on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, Hive Live Radio, for links and updates and whatnot. And we'll be back offering radio commentary for Barnet against Eastleigh as well. That game will be broadcast on the Zone as well. Take care everyone and have a lovely rest of your weekend. Barnet 1, Wealdstone 1.